on the other phone.
Faint sounds of subway trains sitting on the ants. A lighter flicks. Someone beatboxing in the distance.
Hey yo, gather round, let me put y'all on. See, the game ain't just about paper, it's about legacy. You stacking bills or building empires. You reading signs or stuck reading headlines. It's time to elevate, knowledge reborn. Feel me? Shout out to Shy Bliss, Mama T. Hey yo, I came from the dirt where the lost ones lurk. Now I channel serious when I put in this work. From the street lights to the starlight, knowledge divine. Got the whole zodiac mapped out my mind. 777s when I shuffle, every move is a line. Had to break free, cut the chains on my mind. You see they trap us in illusions, keep the wisdom diluted. But I'm building like the Moors did, all black suited. Running numbers like Pythagoras, adding up digits. Turn a cipher to a temple, got the ancestors with us. This that Pharaoh flow, deep like the metronome. Boom, bap, quantum math, every bar set in stone. We was born in the fire, raised in a storm. But the knowledge stays sacred, the wisdom stays strong. Turn the pain into gold, let the lessons live on. We the lost now found, it's the knowledge we're born. We was born in the fire, raised in a storm. But the knowledge stays sacred, the wisdom stays strong. Turn the pain into gold, let the lessons live on. We the lost now found, it's the knowledge we're born.
All right. Welcome, everybody. We are live and on the air. I tried to switch it up a little bit. I'm being a little bit more intimate with y'all. We're getting close. I'm not all professional in the studio today. So what's going on, everybody? We got another hot show for you today. Yes, part 3, God's money, as we tap in and find out what's going on in these markets, in these streets, and what the esoteric science and the message is saying behind the movement. What is astrology doing? Is it playing a role in what we're witnessing happening today? What's going on with America? What's going on with the banks? Is this the actual changing of the guards taking place? Or is America setting us up for the fake left, go right kind of move? What's going on with China? They put a ban on silver. What's happening? All your mom and pop stores you're going to trying to buy silver, they're either saying 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Some are even saying March. Some are saying out of stock. Some are saying limited supply. Is it too late? Should you have gotten in long before, when everybody was saying you better get in and get you some silver? You better stack you some silver? Is it too late, or is it just the beginning? Well, we're about to dive deep into that today. And with all of that being said, I'm going to bring on my guest, Mr. M.I.M.S. We got Mr. M.I.M.S, Ricardo Hamilton in the building, sir. Welcome to the show. How you doing today? Clink. Welcome.
Yeah. Peace and blessings to everybody. Good evening. Peace and blessings. I've been excited, man. Awesome time to be alive, man. We living through history right now, and that intro you just gave was perfect. It was really spot on. To really capture the moment that we're in, this special, unique moment that we're in, that literally is going to change the course of history and change our lives and future generations to come. And it's exciting to have the realization of who we are and where we are and what's getting ready to come and how we're going to capitalize and benefit on that and change our legacy for our loved ones in the years and decades to come. So awesome. Excited, happy to be on the show as always.
Oh man, it's always an honor to have you on here to bring on your energy, your knowledge, and your wisdom. You know, you watching these streets, you watching these markets, you seeing what's going on, and you've been shouting from the mountaintop for so long, trying to get people involved, getting the community involved. Some get in, some get out, some move in, some move out, some didn't see it, some did. But you stay consistent the whole time. Tell me, how you feeling right now? The position that you in right now, sitting on top of the hill with your silver bars. How you feeling right now, brother?
Look, man, I feel like I was born for this time period. God's time is the best time, and it's not by accident that this is actually my passion. I've been doing this for years, and I've been wanting to help people kind of, grasp the magnitude of, where we are, and especially in regards to the global economy, this time in history, and what God's money has to do with it, because we live in a world of fake, and so, when you find out the real, you want to share that, you want to, bring that message to people. But early on, when you find this stuff early, you realize your friends and your family, they're not on the same frequency you're on. They don't want to hear what you're talking about. But then you find your tribe and your community. So I'm just happy to be in this place where people are finding value, and the information that I've been sharing is relevant and is true. And the economic situation, the political situation, everything that we're seeing is backing it up and substantiating the value of people really understanding how the monetary system works, and why they need to hedge and protect themselves against the greater forces in the system that they have no control over, by getting God's money and preparing for the wealth transfer in these digital assets as well.
Man, it's phenomenal. Yeah. So let's talk about the rumors that's going on in these markets and what's happening with the banks, right? I don't know if you heard the latest of, we got the new reporter, the AI reporter out here, Mr. Asian guy, John A.G., I think that's his name. Yeah. And every day he floods the internet with all of this information and these backstories and stuff that we don't hear, and then it's being reflected each day in the market. Like this is some inside guy. I don't know whoever did this. I don't know if they're doing us a favor, or if is this about revenge, right? Is this about, look, let's unveil and let the Americans know anything. Kind of like when TikTok, I don't know if you remember this, a few months back, right? When they were threatening, you know how the ban on TikTok, it was always this ban on TikTok going on, right? And there was something that was going on with the suppliers and Asian suppliers, and they unveiled, and they was talking about the Gucci bags everybody was getting their bags from, and they were showing them that they're getting it from us for like $2 and this and that. So they opened up the market, and then you saw people just buying a bag directly from them. Yeah. Do you think this is like a setup? Like they about to, do this again with silver, maybe? Possibly?
Yeah, I mean it's the whole system. It's the apocalypse. I mentioned it before. It's the great awakening, greater unveiling. What's done in the dark will come to light. You know what I mean? So all the lies, all the deceit, all the corruption, all the fraud, all the manipulation, it's getting exposed, and it's getting exposed in every area of human activity, every category, every subject, health, it doesn't matter, finances, politics, the veil is being lifted and everything is being exposed. So from fashion to money, and, there are people that have wanted to expose the truth to people for a while, because we remain in darkness. It's because we remain, unaware of what they've been doing and how long they've been doing it and how they've been using the system, to our disadvantage. There are people who've been wanting to wake us up. They have whistleblowers like Edward Snowden and, other people who blow the whistle on, our constitutional rights being violated by the government spying on us and things of that nature. We've had, people trying to expose, obviously, like the Asian guy trying to expose the corruption and the rigging and manipulation in the banking and precious metals market. There's always going to be, people that are trying to shed light on the truth and expose the dark and the wicked. And so I don't know, exactly where it's coming from. But one thing we do know is that the information is true. The information is true. And we're seeing that the information he's coming out with is real. He said there will be a ban in China. And here we are. There's a ban in China prior to. So it's an information war. That's the thing about, people we have to understand. We're in an information war right now. Right. And it is the intelligence, and or the ignorance, that determines, those who are going to make it and those who won't. And of course, the action behind that. That's why I say my people will perish for lack of knowledge. Well, it's your lack of awareness of what's going on that will lead you down the same path of financial destruction. Just like in 2008, Michael Burry, he knew, he looked at the numbers, he probably tried to expose to the best he can, but he knew that, you know, the housing market was overvalued. He knew there was going to be a crash. He shorted the housing market and, you know, came up big time. There's always people who know things ahead of time or who are on the inside that try to get the message out. And because of AI, whoever's behind the Asian guy has found a way to coordinate mass information, not even a disinformation, because, you know, our governments and agencies, they use the technology and information as well to put out disinformation that benefits them. But obviously we can see that this is real information that benefits us who receive the information, but most importantly, actually get the physical asset.
Yes. Speaking of physical assets, what does this look like for the average person out here trying to buy silver, right? So let me see how it goes. So just to recap over this thing with COMEX and what's happening with Asia in the ban, right? Can you explain to us, how does the system normally work before it was exposed? What were we doing when we were looking at COMEX prices in Asia? Like, how did the system normally work before this big explosion took place?
Yeah, I mean, the West runs everything. Every market, you know, everything is priced in dollars. But what happened is that the West, you know, through the rigging and manipulation of the financial system through SWIFT, you know, and in the weaponization of the dollar, you know, countries no longer want to be tied to the U.S. financial system through SWIFT, because you can see how they weaponize other countries through the SWIFT mechanism for their ability to be able to conduct global trade and commerce, right? And then you can see how they weaponize the dollar. So countries are already starting to create their own way to conduct global trade and commerce. That's why we have BRICS, and they're integrating blockchain technology and backing their precious metals up. But generally, yeah, I mean, it was a trust system. It was based on trust. You know, that's the thing. And now the trust is no more, essentially, with the U.S. and the pricing and, you know, how they conduct business. We see and we know the rigging and the manipulation, especially when we start talking about the paper market versus, you know, they're trading, you know, 250, 300, 400 paper contracts to every 1 ounce of silver. You know, they're rigging and manipulating, hypothecating this market, and it's creating, you know, chaos throughout the whole space. But generally, it was a market where the U.S. and the COMEX, they trusted, you know, what the COMEX had. They trusted the dollar price on the market. But now, because of the information that we have about available above ground silver and everything else versus the actual demand and supply and everything else, all these variables and things are coming together, and people are realizing that, you know, the West is not to be trusted. And, you know, that's why we're seeing the East now. We're seeing not only the metal leaving the West, but we're seeing the metal go to the East. But now the East is setting the price of physical silver. It's not going to be the West anymore. So the West paper, so you're going to see the West, what we have here for the price of silver is going to be irrelevant because we don't have the silver. That's a paper market. It's not real. Who cares about that price? It's irrelevant. That's why it's important that you get the physical, because right now we're in price discovery mode.
Right.
We're trying to figure out what is the actual price of this metal. You know, what is it per ounce? And it's being repriced right now in China and overseas based off the availability and the actual demand. And like we've talked about, there is already a deficit of physical silver right now. There's not enough to meet the supply. I mean, to meet the demand. Okay. And the demand is growing at an exponential rate as the technology and industries grow. So we have a problem. So silver is massively underpriced for actually what's available and what the demand is, you know.
Right.
But COMEX and all these other entities, and they're losing their status and credibility where once they did have the credibility and the status.
Right. So to my understanding about where we are today is that all the people who were buying silver through COMEX, right, or buying silver through banks with these contracts, and when they call in and they want their silver now, They want their physical shit. Like they want what they paid for.
Yeah.
And so now there's this rush to give the top buyers this silver, or there's some kind of squeeze or freeze that's happening. Now, from what I'm understanding in these streets, that they don't have it to give everybody.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a big problem.
It's a crisis.
Then on top of that, this is the latest news from the Asian guy. I'm gonna play this clip, right? If you haven't seen this shit, because this is kind of interesting. Now, it's normally the banks against us, right? The retailers, the regular common folk. They're manipulating us with prices, contracts, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Well, now that we're returning to physical assets, hard physical assets, and they don't have what they promised. So now the banks are warring with each other to get all the physical assets, even if they're taking it from each other. Now, I'm gonna play this clip. I don't know if you've seen this latest one. This one here's a trip. And I was like,
no, I haven't, because I know he puts out a lot of great content, But yeah. I know that it's a fact. It's true. The banks don't trust each other right now. That's why they have to tap into the repo markets at night, because they can't settle the books. Normally they would settle the books amongst themselves, but because the banks don't trust each other, because they don't trust their books, they're liars. It's all rigged and manipulated. So they don't trust what's on their books to settle the balance at the end of the night. And so they got to go get the liquidity elsewhere. But what you're going to see is a race to the exits, because as soon as one person one bank starts to no longer go along with the rigging and the manipulation plan that they have, and they start going for physical, it's going to be a rush, because now the other banks are going to have to get it at a higher price if they can get it. So yeah, it's going to create a panic, and that's why we're going to see things really accelerate to crisis mode here, and you won't be able to ignore it, and everybody's going to know about it.
Yeah, it's off the chain.
Yeah,
this is interesting, very interesting times we are existing in today. Now, this was interesting. I really want to play a little bit of this, because it makes us see a different perspective. It makes us look at things. This is why I kind of like listening to this guy, right? Because he shows us, like he'll say, stop looking at the market, stop looking at the RSI, stop looking at the chart, stop looking at what you think it's going to be, right? Because this is not a traditional game anymore.
Not at all.
Like the game has literally changed, and nothing is making sense to those who study patterns and what should happen when it reaches this number, and what should happen when it reaches this level, right? We're not seeing that.
No.
Okay, so hold on here. This little bit.
Yeah.
How y'all doing out there? Hold on. Let me say hi to the people. I ain't even say hi to my family. They cooked the books, King High Priest. You know that, honey. They cooked the book. They've been cooking. They the original cooks in the kitchen, huh? What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome to the Stellar Matters podcast. We just jumped right in this thing. There's just so much to cover, and there's so much to talk about when it comes to this. And we want to bring both sides of the story. We want to bring the physical market. We want you to see what's going on. We want you to hear what's going on behind the scenes. And also, we want you to know what possibly could be prompting this, what possibly could be activating this at this particular time. Now, I know many may not believe in astrology and things of that nature, but something is influencing us down here. You can say God, the devil, whatever the case may be. You can even point them out as planetary energies. Some say Saturn is the devil. Some say Jupiter is the God. When you start looking at the attributes and the characteristics of what each planet expresses. And guess what? It expresses through our behavior down here, because we are the micro versions of the macro versions of the heavens. So everything we're seeing is expressions of what we're doing. Okay, so this is a very phenomenal time we're witnessing, and it's being shown to you in the heavens as well as right here in the physical realm. So I'm going to go ahead and play this clip. Let me know what y'all think about this. Okay, is this sharing my screen right here? Yeah. We're going to shift Mr. Asian guy one more again with his crazy ass. All right, here we go.
The data we have just pulled from the CME servers is not just a statistical anomaly, it is a historical event. We are looking at a delivery report that changes the entire complexion of the silver market. For the last 48 hours, we have been warning you that the China export ban would break the supply chain. We warned you that the banks were trapped. We warned you that the physical market was divorcing the paper market. But what happened today at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time goes beyond any warning we could have issued. We are witnessing the ghost of 1980 return to the trading floor. We are witnessing a physical grab for metal that we haven't seen since the days of the Hunt brothers. Ladies and gentlemen, Asian guy here, known as John A. G. from Currency Archive. I have the CME group delivery report right here in front of me. Let's look at the raw numbers because numbers do not lie. Today, Friday, January 2nd, the exchange issued 1,168 delivery notices. That is 5,840,000 ounces of silver demanded in a single session. But if you zoom out just 24 hours, if you combine today's report with the massive spike we saw yesterday on New Year's Day, the total number of contracts standing for delivery in the first 2 days of 2026 is 3,446. Let me say that number again slowly so you can visualize the mountain of metal it represents. 3,446 contracts. Multiply that by 5,000 ounces per contract. That is 17,230,000 ounces of physical silver moved in 48 hours. To put that into perspective, the global mining industry produces roughly 800 million ounces a year. That means in the first 2 days of the year, before most traders have even returned from their holiday vacations, the COMEX has been forced to cough up 2% of the entire annual global production. This is not commercial hedging. This is not industrial flow. A factory does not order 17 million ounces of silver on a Friday afternoon. This is a run on the bank. This is a sophisticated, coordinated, and violent raid on the exchange's physical inventory. You have to understand the significance of the date. Why January 2nd? Why the rush? Because as of this morning, the China export ban is live. The China wall we talked about is now a reality. The supply from the east has been cut to zero, and the sharks in New York know it. They know that the 39 million ounces sitting in the registered vaults are the last easy ounces left on planet Earth. They know that once those ounces are gone, the price goes to no offer. So they didn't wait. They didn't dip their toes in. They smashed the buy button and demanded delivery of 17 million ounces instantly. They stripped nearly half of the available registered inventory in 2 days. If this pace continues for another 48 hours, the COMEX breaks. Mathematically, it cannot survive another week of this pressure. We are watching an inventory liquidation event disguised as a trading session. And the most terrifying part of this report isn't just the volume. It is the intent. When you see 17 million ounces move in 1980, it was two brothers from Texas trying to corner the market. Today, it isn't a couple of cowboys. It is the banks themselves. We are seeing a phenomenon that signals the end of the suppression cartel. We are seeing cannibalization. The banks are no longer working together to hold the price down. The truce is broken. They are now eating each other to secure the lifeboats. When you look at the issuer and stopper data, the list of who sold the silver and who bought the silver, it reveals a brutal war taking place behind the scenes. Usually, the banks pass the silver back and forth like a hot potato to keep the game going. Bank A sells to Bank B sells to Bank C, and nobody actually takes the metal out of the vault. It is a paper shuffle. But today, the music stopped and the potato was frozen. The metal stopped moving in a circle and started moving in a straight line. Out of one bank's vault and into another bank's fortress, one major institution was forced to bleed. One major institution was forced to vomit up millions of ounces of precious inventory that they desperately needed to keep. And another major institution, one that used to be their ally, stood there with a bucket and caught every single drop.
Damn.
This is what happens when a currency dies. The thieves stop stealing from the public and start stealing from each other. We are watching the breakdown of the gentleman's agreement that has suppressed silver for 40 years. There are no gentlemen left on Wall Street today. There are only predators and prey. And the prey is currently bleeding out on the floor of the exchange. So who is the victim? Who is the issuer that just lost 3 million ounces of silver in a single day? And who is the blue whale that just swallowed 80% of the market? The names on this report will shock you, because it turns out that the biggest buyer of physical silver right now isn't a Reddit ape. It isn't a coin shop. It is the very bank that created the paper short position in the first place. They are flipping the script. They are switching sides, and they are destroying their competition to do it. Let's look at the combatants. Let's look at the blue whale raid. And while the giants are feasting on the carcass of Deutsche Bank in the wholesale market, sucking up 4 million ounces of industrial bars before they can even touch the pavement, the situation for the little guy, for you, for me, for the average family trying to secure their savings, has gone from difficult to impossible. We are witnessing a total blackout of the retail supply chain. If you think the raid on the COMEX was violent, you should see what is happening on the websites of the major bullion dealers right now. It is a digital ghost town. The inventory is gone. The shelves are bare. The buy buttons have been replaced with notify me buttons. I've been monitoring the inventory feeds of the big three online dealers, SD Bullion, Kitco, and M.I.M.S, since the market closed today, and the data confirms that the retail Armageddon we feared is no longer a forecast. It is here.
I'm going to stop that right there.
Woo!
I'm going to stop that right there, honey.
That was hot.
I told you, he off the chain. I don't know where he come from, but brother man is
every man for themselves. This is economic warfare on multiple dimensional levels. I'm telling you right now, when you see the dynamics that are taking place with the East and the West, and you realize that silver is the Achilles heel to the whole financial system. Everything is, I mean, this is a reset in the monetary system. Silver is the Achilles heel to everything. Okay, that is going to expose the rigging because they're over leveraged. You know, the whole system is over leveraged. And like somebody said earlier, they cook the books. It's not real. They don't have the metal. So now you see them starting to eat themselves because they can't get the metal from China. China say, we ain't getting it. So y'all, whatever metal y'all got, so now they dealing with the metal that they have and that they have access to. And now everybody like the Hungry Hippos game. The Hungry Hippos is the banks trying to get the silver. Them silver bars instead of silver balls. And they try and get what they can now, and they're gonna go against each other. But you see at the same time, they're rigging and manipulating the paper price of silver down because they want to scoop it up at a cheaper price.
Right.
That's why the price of the real metal is higher overseas. But they're pricing it, they want to smash it down because they want to scoop it up at the cheaper price. It's the same thing they do with crypto. Crypto is down right now, but trust and believe, ETFs, they got more ETFs filing for these digital assets. They got implementation and integration in the background taking place. It's just a matter of time before they flip the switch and move all the liquidity on the blockchain. But when it comes to the physical metals, this is what's going on right now. This is what's going on right now. And this is, make no mistake about it, this is economic, this is warfare, this is war. And these are tactics and strategies in war. And, you know, that's why it's important that people prepare and protect themselves. Because like I always say, ain't nobody coming to save you. You know, ain't nobody coming to save you. You got what you need to save yourself. And you need to take advantage.
Absolutely. You know, a little bit further on, I didn't play the whole video because it's about 20 minutes. I'm not going to play all of it. But there was something that he said in there about those companies that are holding silver right now. And like people are still stacking and you're still available. There's still coins out there for you to get. Bullions and rounds, right? And at this point in time, it don't even matter, right? Most people will want the silver eagle and all of these certain things because they hold a higher premium. But it's to the point now, it's about the weight of the gold, not the decoration or the type of coin that you get, right? Yeah. So he was saying that on certain sites that that you go to now, that they're offering these coins at a higher premium than what the spot price is saying. Right. So it's like today, if silver closed, I think about $71 or something like that, they're selling silver eagles at like $89. Like they're raising the price of them because they don't know what's going to happen to cover their cost.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm like, wow, this is really interesting because if you don't know where to go and purchase these metals and you're going to, because everyone has seemed like they're a little panicky. Right, they're going to the pawn shops. They're cleaning out the pawn shops. I was watching some videos earlier. The pawn shops and the coin shops, they're gone. They wiped out their inventory. They don't have anything. People are lining up trying to get their hands on this physical silver because last minute you don't want to be without. right? As opposed to folks like you got a whole, your bathroom could be lined with bars out there. Who knows? I'm just saying, but you jumped on it early as opposed to the last minute people who are trying to get in now, right? And now they're seeing the value of it because of the things that are going on. So it's very important to know that when you are buying the silver, it's to the point now is you really want to buy it for the weight. You want to get your hands and stack it for the weight and get it at the price and know what the price is, because once they figure this thing out, if they do, because the way that they're presenting it, this is going to take years to catch up, right? Because it takes years to mine silver. If we're talking about something physical, not something out of thin air, right? You can't make this out of thin. They can't print this away, right? They can't print this up. So basically, it's like the miners, it takes 3 to 5 years or more to develop a mine, right? To acquire more silver. So it seems like, when you're saying economical warfare, that China is trying to put themselves in a position that they hold all the silver so they can set the price on the market that you have to buy from them, right? After y'all finish killing each other over the little pennies y'all got over there, America, right? You playing, manipulating people. You falling on your own sword right now. And the one left standing, you be coming to me for the silver. So, damn. So, all this to say, I want you to tell them about the places that are available for those who may need to get silver right now at the time that you can get it right now at a reasonable price, because we see a lot of price gouging going on because of the panic that's happening with it.
Yeah. And right now, like even a lot of online dealers, the price that you even see is not the actual price you're going to pay when you check out. They got a nice little advertised price, but by the time you check out, it's a whole nother price, right? And so like Mama T was saying, which is correct, at this moment in time, it's about weight, okay? It's about weight. I got some coins here, and they got I got some coins here, they got like a real pretty design on it, even like this one is an eagle. So, but and I paid a little more because they put some color on it, and it's, it's all, unique stuff, but it's some nice stuff. But right at this point in time, it's about getting physical. It's about the weight, how much weight you got, get your weight up, versus getting, anything else per se. And so, that's why we get our metal from at cost. Okay, we get our metal from at cost metals because we want to help people get the metal at cost, which means there's no markup on the asset. Every other company online has to mark up the asset. That's the business model. Okay. At cost metals is going to give it to you without a markup, and you're going to get it physical. And they have metal right now, and they're in the US, and that's huge. Okay. Because like I said, most people are going to online dealers. They're either sold out or you're paying more than you have to. Because like Mama Tay said, they're doing the price gouging. Right. And so this is the thing. You don't know what you don't know, and you won't know unless somebody tells you.
Go ahead now.
And most people, it's true. Most people, this information is critical right now. People really don't grasp the magnitude of the severity of the situation. But we're looking at a financial crisis that's worse than 2008. And in 2008, people lost half their 401k. They lost their home. They lost their job. The situation that we're dealing with globally financially is magnitudes greater than the 2008 financial crisis, okay? 2008 financial crisis, we were at like $10 trillion in debt. Today, as a nation, we're over $36 trillion in debt. They've printed, more currency in the last 5 to 7 years than they have since the inception of the country over 200 years ago. So, I mean, we are in something that, like I've always said, it's greater than anything we've read throughout history. It's greater than anything we've read throughout any religious text. We're living in the most significant time period ever in history, and it will be talked about, debated, and studied for centuries to come, for decades. Our children's children will be learning about this time period that we're in right now. And you know, it's an opportunity amongst the crisis. You know, those who got ICC is the year, you know, and override assets. Yeah, there's an opportunity. It's a crisis going on. Trust and believe with the dollar and inflation and everything else. But there's also opportunity, and not everybody's going to get the short end of the stick. There's some people who come on and here and create legacies because of the decisions that they make with their dollars while they have value. But yeah, the biggest thing right now is getting silver. Silver is the most undervalued physical asset on the planet. It actually hit number 2 in regards to the most valuable assets. So gold is number 1. I think Nvidia is number 2. And then silver is number 3 in regards to market cap. But silver is definitely going to take over Nvidia. It's, you know, just a couple, you know, billion away in market cap. But yeah, folks, you want to get silver, you want to get gold, you want to get it at cost, right? You want to get it at the best price so you can get more weight. You don't need to overpay for metal. You don't need to pay retail if you don't have to. If you can get the wholesale deal on gold and silver, that's the better deal to get. So you see Mama T link going down on the bottom of the screen, at cost metals, get the membership, choose what membership you want, add funds to your account and purchase the metal and get on the coin of the month, you know, and diversify. But get these assets because silver's going much higher. It's going much higher in value.
That's amazing. You know, you mentioned crisis, and I was trying to find a video because I wanted to show another clip that I found about monitoring a crisis right before a crash. And so this video was talking about like the crash, I believe, was it in the that caused the Great Depression, right? Was it in the 20s? Late 20s, the crash of the stock market,
Great Depression.
Yeah, the Great Depression. But what caused it? And it was a lot of what you were talking about, over leverage, right? And it was a lot of things was overbought. And there was somebody who cleaned up during the Great Depression. They found the opportunity, and it was I think Joseph Kennedy. Right? He cleaned up during the Great Depression because he realized he got out. First of all, it was like 3 major things to secure your future during a crash, where the not real transfer of wealth, but a major part of the transfer of wealth takes place is with positioning, right? So knowing when to pull and turn your assets into a form of liquidity, and then taking that liquidity and acquiring gold as a reserve, having cash and having gold, in this case, silver as well, right? And then waiting for everything to just hit rock bottom. And when everyone has been buying at the top and now everything is depleted and hit rock bottom, you buy everything at a fire sale, because you've held on to, you got out at the right time. And then you took your money and you turned it into gold. And then, you know, during a crisis, gold shoots up, right? Yeah. These precious metals, it goes back to God's money, right? Everything that's fairy tale fades away. And the only thing that's left standing when the smoke clears is the physical asset. Yeah. And then they take that physical asset and they start gobbling up everything at rock bottom prices, to the point that now they're monopolizing industries because they bought it at such a cheap price. So I am a true believer of learning through history's mistakes, like learning and see what's going on, because everything happens in cycles, right? And this is why I bring in astrology, because when you start looking at the transits of what's going on and they begin to repeat itself, then things happen all over again. Now, you're going to learn from those who failed, and you're going to learn from those who succeeded. And are you going to position yourself in a way to acquire as opposed to be depleted when it all falls out, right? We can't be following the crowd out here. We're going to have to set the tone and set the pace and be a little bit like futuristic in thinking, be progressive thinkers and see where this shit is going. We see it's a collapse. Everyone's saying it's over. It's the end, right? It's the end of America, this and that and the other, but they don't want the money to end up. Right? They like that part.
Mm-hmm.
But it has to change and convert and transmute into something else. And normally the one that's left standing is the precious metal. And then from there, things are built on top of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, with all of that being said, we need to start looking at the 3 signs and signals that's taking place, like the crack in the system. We're seeing that now. And then we need to start looking at assets that we have and maybe starting to put them into these physical assets, like taking our money before the dollar totally crashes and start acquiring these metals and then holding out for the fire sale later to start acquiring all that was lost. So that's, I think, the alignments we need to start looking at and paying attention to these planetary alignments, because like we said, they're screaming at us. They're telling us the story. They're shouting from the skies and saying, look, y'all better pay attention to what's going on up here, because it's manifesting down here. Now, I want to talk about a transit. I'm sorry, I didn't want to go on and on, but just I want to tie that in to a transit that's taking place right now in the upcoming transit. And I'm going to pass it on to you, okay?
Yeah.
So, we talked about this before about the planet Jupiter. Jupiter rules luck and expansion and protection and prosperity and all of this great stuff. It's like the Santa Claus of the zodiac, right? Where Saturn seems to be the devil of the zodiac, right? It represents loss or blocks or things that delay you. Well, these are the checks and balances of the universe. And if the earth is not operating in the form of checks and balances, trust me, the signal that the heavens will send to the earth will trigger the balance, whether we like it or not, or whether we're ready for it or not, whether we believe in this shit or not. We can see it around us. It's quite apparent. So when you get to understand how the planets are transiting or moving and aspecting, meaning talking to one another, then we'll be able to get in alignment with the true time, and that's cosmic time. Because we can see this man's made time or Gregorian calendar or whatever the case may be, it's up. But what's everlasting is the cosmos. So this planet Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon in the element of Cancer is silver. This is why. Why now? Why if it's happening now? And you blaming it on them or they? It's the cosmos signaling that this is the season for this, right? And right now, the sun is in the sign of the opposition of Cancer, which is Capricorn, that represents the system, the government, the powers that be. That's Capricorn energy. So now, today or tomorrow, I think, the sun is going to be a full moon. The full moon sun, means the full moon, it will be in the sign of Cancer, right next to Jupiter. So if we think silver is going to take a shoo now, honey, the full moon means I'm bringing everything to the head. I'm bringing everything to light. I'm shining like a beacon in the night sky. You can't miss me. It's like, hello, you can't miss the full moon. It's like the sun during the nighttime. So all the light is shining on silver, on Cancer, and it's looking at the opposite sign of Capricorn saying, hey, this is the checks and this is the balance. So what are we going to do? How we going to move out here? What we finna do, y'all? Right? Are we going to move with the cosmos? We're seeing what's happening. Get in position, get in alignment, and listen to what this brother is saying. This brother been shouting this for so long. Shout out to the Taurus and persistence and perseverance and stay in the course. I appreciate you. Yeah. So, kudos to you. I know you got to be smiling from ear to ear. You know what I'm saying? For you a testament to what's been going on, right? And the moon is exalted, meaning it works its best when it's in Taurus, right? So, man, look at how the cosmos working out here.
That's
look
right.
how the cosmos working out here. So, and it manifests through us, physical form and matter, which is human beings. We are the cosmos. We're showing you, we're telling you, we're talking to you, representatives of the aspects that's taking place right now. So what can you tell the people with all that being said? I know I said a lot. I ran my mouth for like 5 minutes. All that being said, how do you translate that? How does that resonate with you? And how can you translate that to the people? What do you get at?
Well, first thing, I got to put that frequency of that sound money clap on here because that was that crown load.
The crown load, baby. Yes, sir. All right now.
I'll share on that. Yeah, Mama T.
Yes, sir.
That's the truth. It's fire. You feel it. You understand it. And no, but you're right. You're 100% right again when it comes to the engineering and the manufacturing of crises. And this is something that, the elite, the bankers, these agencies, they've done since their inception. It's baked into their nature. So a lot of the crises, a lot of the wars, a lot of the things that we see throughout time, we now know, why they started, who started them, who benefited from it, and these are engineered, these were manufactured. They didn't have to happen, but because they benefited a few corrupt individuals who, did whatever they wanted to do at the expense of humanity, it's been exposed today. Right. It's important that, like you said, that people start to realize how everything is kind of coming into alignment. This new era, we're entering the age of Aquarius, this new era that we're entering in, this new age, this new realization, this new unveiling, this new zeitgeist, this world view. The world is always changing. And because we're on the day-to-day, we don't realize that you're actually in a whole new reality. We're in a whole new world. We're operating on a whole new program. But because you're on the day-to-day, you don't even realize the system done switched up on you. And then you wake up and find yourself in financial ruin. And you're saying, well, when did this happen? I went to work, I paid my bills, I tried to keep my credit up. How is it that, there's another 2008 where I was doing everything right, and now I'm in jeopardy of losing my home and providing for my family and myself? It's because while you were, had your head down, being a good worker and trying to, follow the system, there was some macro and micro celestial events taking place that you should have been aware of to wake you up to the certain actions that you should be doing that's greater than you going to work for somebody else, for working for a piece of paper that doesn't hold value. That's a lie. That's a unit of debt. It's this is for those who got eyes to see, ears to hear. People will hear this message, and those who it resonates with, it's not by accident that it resonates with you. It's not by accident that you receive this message. Not everybody's getting this message. Not everybody this message resonates with. And then not everybody, it's even smaller percentage of people who are actually going to take action. Because some people, there's a such thing as intellectual masturbation. Some people like to just intellectualize and talk about things and know things, but they don't do anything to actually change the environment or change their situation. It feels good, it sounds good, and they're releasing endorphins, and we know all of this and that, but we ain't making no progress. And so that's what a lot of people like to do. And, that's one of my pet peeves. Listen, not applied knowledge is power. It's cool to know this and know that, but how are we going to use this information to put us in position to actually be the rulers that we know that we are over our lives and our destinies and over our communities? And so that's why it's important that, you guys like this information out, that you share it out, because not everybody's talking about silver in this way. Not everybody's giving this information. There's so much distraction going on. There's enough entertainment between the celebrity gossip, between the political gossip, between the entertainment with the sports and everything else. People are so distracted, let alone just trying to live your day-to-day life and, just go home and chill because you just stressed out with work and trying to, manage and pay bills, let alone tapping into what's going on with China. I can't worry about what's going on in China. I'm trying to pay my phone bill.
I know, right?
Like, for people who are able to get this information and then be in position to do something, it's not by accident. Take advantage, for real.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because some people are called to do certain things. Not everyone can jump on something and do it. Everyone has their lane and their path and their specialty to activate things to bring it to the collective, right? And so if you're hearing this and it's resonating with you and you know this is for you, then act on it. If you know this is not your cup of tea, then that's okay, because there's somebody in your line that it may be their cup of tea, right? You can pass this information on to them and they can listen to it and it resonate and it'll circle back to you. The reward will circle back to you. So this is something that some people are getting in position because they can see it, especially if you got Taurus energy, you got Venus energy that's exalted or in certain positions, because it's a part of your cosmic makeup. You know, I was looking at some posts that I put on Facebook. I think it was mostly Facebook. And I was putting out the God's Money clips and things of that nature. And the first thing, you know, some of us gonna say, God don't need no money. And I was like, who said God needed money? But I bet your ass do. Right? We talk about who the money belong to. We ain't asking, God don't need shit. Like we don't ask, but your ass do. You need some of this God's money. That's what I'm talking about. So we gotta understand this. I mean, we're not so caught up in whatever it is we're caught up in. Right. But I bet this, when you was typing, God don't need no money, you needed money to pay whatever it was you was typing on. You had to pay that bill, whatever it was you were typing on. You paying the internet. You need things to pay this, that, and the other. We live in a realm right now where it's an exchange, and right now they have us on a false light exchange of fiat money, not realizing that we've always had an exchange of value, no matter what it was. There was a time we was trading cows and sheep. There was a time where we were trading fish, cowrie shells, gold. There's always something that's in it. This is energetic exchange, right? So you got to get yourself out of the mindset of thinking what certain systems oppressed you with to make you fearful of something that already belongs to you. You're just not in alignment to get it, because you punching that clock to get it. Right? You on someone else's timeline to get it, as opposed to getting in position and attracting it, or taking what you are working with and spreading it around in the right places, as opposed to hoarding it and not making it work for you. Right? It's time for us to make our assets work for itself, to bring a reward back to you, instead of us always chasing it. We've been behind the 8 ball since they created the 8 ball. It's time to throw the whole pool table away. That's just what I'm saying.
No, I agree 100%. It's time to dream bigger. I tell people all the time, dream bigger, focus on a life of abundance. You know what I mean? Like, step into the reality that you want to see for yourself. And that's why it's important that you got to monitor your thoughts and monitor your perceptions. Because if you say, I can't, you know, and you're focusing on your problems, and you are limiting your experience, because what you think it affects you even on a cellular level. Your thoughts are a vibration. Your thoughts are a frequency. It's like an antenna. Whatever you thinking and you putting out there is what you get back. And if your thoughts are going to move matter, you know, and create your experience, your thoughts move your body. Your thoughts move the cells in your body, and you're going to be moving, and you're going to manifest your life through your thoughts. So when somebody's sitting there typing, talking about, God, you know, this negative,
I don't need no money.
No money, you know, that in itself is already a defeating mentality, because instead of seeing the information on how you can benefit from it and how, you know, the actual positive, you know, thing to take away from it, they're focusing on what they can detract and what they can take negative away from it in that nature. And that's obviously not somebody who's going to benefit and can see the value. And it's not for them. You know, it's not for them. But those people put those in the chat because misery loves company. Okay. So you're going to have those people who just want to be miserable and upset, don't believe in nothing. And they want to take the energy from the people who actually are starting to say, this is making sense. There's always going to be detractors. There's always going to be people who, you know, try to stop your blessing. But don't Don't get in your own way. A lot of times people get in their own way of success because of how they think about themselves, how they think about somebody else might think of them. And we all deal with it. I deal with it. Okay.
Yeah.
But understand something, that the time that we're in right now is a very unique time. It's a blessing to be in this time period right now, because you're going to be able to do something that your ancestors couldn't have done, in a way that is going to affect your future generations in a way that you can actually see and actually have a real effect in. You know, it's magnificent, really, when you really see where we are, what we can do, and where we're going. Like I said, there will be crises. A lot of people are going to get, wiped out. A lot of people ain't going to make it, but that's not our portion. And you got to receive that, and you got to know that you destined for greater and greatness.
I say. While you were talking, I was actually trying to see what this with John, what is this Asian guy, John, the Asian guy was saying. So I'm visiting some websites, right? And taking a look and seeing what their prices are for silver.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna share the screen.
Yeah, share the screen. It's gonna be fun.
I'm gonna share the screen. This is gonna be quite interesting, guys. For those of you who are looking to acquire silver, and I'm sure I'm going to some of the places that are pretty known and most people always go to. Okay, so let me get back on here.
And she's gonna share some. She's gonna sell some silver sites. And we don't recommend going them. And I would say they like competitors.
I'm gonna share at cost too. Like I'm gonna share.
I know.
Yeah.
no, I know. But the beautiful thing about at cost metals is there is no competitor to at cost metals. And the reason that is because every other online dealer, their business model is to mark up the product to make profit. At cost metals business model, they don't mark up the product. They give it to us at cost. They make money on the membership. Okay. So that's much better and unique in regards to companies that offer precious metals. But yeah, Mama T getting ready to show y'all some companies. And you're going to see what I was talking about earlier when I said that you'll see an advertised price. And then by the time you check out as well, you're going to see a whole nother price. At cost metals, they don't play those games. The price you see is the price you're going to pay.
All right. So we're going to SD Bullion, right? A lot of people know about them. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going here and, right off the bat, the 2026 1 ounce American Eagle notified me, right? So now they got some stacks here for silver, but we just want to get the basic silver. 2024 1 ounce American Silver Eagle is going for $83, right? Then you got a random year going for $82. So the rest are notify me, right? For all the rest of they have pneumatics here, $97, $93. Numismatics. I got it right this time. So I'm just showing you some of these prices that they have here. Right now, you can see, if you can see my mouth, the silver spot is 73.54.
Yeah.
Right, 73.54. So their bullions, the silver round. All right, we look at their coins. Let's just look at some silver rounds and see what they're working with. And they had a big notice here: historic silver price action will cause processing and shipping delays. We appreciate your patience.
Yeah, and so that's one thing to consider. Now that's something that every company is dealing with in regards to. You will see probably some shipping delays, right? That's one of the things, it's big, obviously, and that's mainly because of the environment and the market that we're in right now. But generally, rest assured, you'll get your asset. But yeah, you're definitely seeing delays in shipment right now.
Right.
And,
now I was looking at one of my favorite coins. I like the Buffalo rounds. They have mint mercury round. They have different rounds. $78.53, $78.53, $77, $78.
I see where you're going with that. I know exactly where you're going with that.
Right? Okay. This is what they're selling. And as you said, once you check out, they're probably going to be higher.
Like it now, we need to do that first. I like. Okay, make sure y'all like this out, share this out, put a 1 in the chat. Let Mama T say if y'all found some value in this. Okay, this about to get fun because I love sharing. We could talk about the metals and talk about stuff, but I love showing people how to actually get it done. See, a lot of people talk about stuff, but they don't really show you how to get the stuff done. you know, or they want to make it some real high technical way to get it done. But you can see Mama T's at an SD bullion, which actually SD bullion prices aren't bad compared to a lot of other online dealers. Okay.
Right.
I used to buy from them until I found out cost metals. But you see, she's showing you. I want to focus on specifically that one out that buffalo that she's showing.
Okay, here
And
we
that
go.
buffalo, yeah. Now click on that buffalo. Now you see, by the time you check out, most people are going to pay with their credit card. You see, their credit card for, and then most people are not going to buy 20. You know, they might buy 5 or 10 or something because they're $80 a coin. You're talking about $800,000. You know, so you could see by the time you check out, you're going to pay $83.83 per coin. $83. See, they advertised and made it, oh, it's 80.53.
Yeah, no, they said 70 something, honey. They were like 70.
Right. It said 70 something. Matter of fact, you're right. It said like 78.
I click over here, this shit done went up $8, $9.
If I just want one coin from SD, I'm gonna pay, you know, 80, 83, 89, because most people are gonna pay with their card. You know what I'm saying? Most people are gonna pay with their card. You know, so I want y'all to remember that, because when she pulls up at cost metals, you're gonna see a much different price. And now here's the thing. Remember, it's about getting your weight up. You want to get it at the best price, because that means you're going to get more ounces, which is mean you're going to be more financially secure and put yourself in position to, you know, benefit better, you know, make, you know, profit better from the rise of the asset, you know. But that's a 1 ounce coin. That's a 1 ounce buffalo round. And if you go to M.I.M.S, which, like I told you, they actually got better prices than a lot of other online companies that I go to as well, or know about. But if you want to get anywhere between 1 and 19 of those coins, you're going to pay about $83.89. And we didn't get the checkout. So they might even, by the time you added the card and check it out, it might be a whole other price, a little higher. But we can go with the 83.89, you know.
Yeah. You wanna, can you still see the screen?
We can still see the screen. Go ahead.
All right. Now I want to go to one. Did you see me at cost? Did you see the screen for at cost metals?
No, it wasn't sharing screen.
Oh, was it sharing it? Okay, so I guess
you
I
can
gotta
pull it up. You want? Yeah, just pull it up real quick.
Yeah, I had it
I
up,
but I looked at it myself and I was like,
no, I want you to do that. I want you to go.
Yeah. No, the situation is evolving. The market is evolving. And like I said it again, you don't know what you don't know, and you won't know unless somebody tells you. So there are people who are going to other online dealers right now to buy silver and gold, and they don't realize that they can actually get it at a better price, a significant better price, okay? And actually acquire and actually get more weight. So you can see Mama T put up at cost metals, okay? And you can see they show you the spot price at cost metals, 73.32, okay? And now if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, Mama T, you should see that same buffalo round that we saw at SD bullion. It should be at the bottom. If you scroll, it should be like all the way at the bottom. Last time I checked, it was like all the way. Usually that one's at the bottom, unless you do the search configuration. But right there. So that coin, and you can go ahead and when you add it to cart, folks, it's the same price. Ain't no if you buy
74.87.
74. We talking about almost $10 different per coin. Okay, almost $10 different. Now add that up to how many coins you want, and you're talking about that's savings. You know that's a significant, a significant savings when they talk about the price per coin versus how many coins you're going to get. And only at cost metals offers that. They're the only ones that will actually give you the asset at the price that you see. Okay. And that's beating everybody else. There is no, oh, you got to buy a certain amount. There is no, oh, it matters how you pay, to determine, how much you're going to, pay at the end of the checkout. No, the price you see is the price you pay. So that's huge. So that was just on that one coin. So it's like, do I go to SD bullion and pay 84 something dollars, for an ounce of the same coin, same weight, same coin, same purity? Or do I go to at cost metals? Okay. And let's say you get the membership. I think there's different membership options. But
I want to tell them one thing, right? Because this is so important. This is way more important than what the price is. It's what I'm paying with it with.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right, so check this out. Now, so I added the token in here, and this is plus shipping and everything, right? So the cart total is going to be $81.87, right? But you see this number up here, $298. You know where this $298 came from?
The $298 that you have in your at cost metals balance?
Yes.
Yeah, where'd that come from?
It comes from commissions.
Mm,
So
commission.
this is the beauty of at cost metal. When you join a membership with this thing, you get your own link, just like the link I'm showing you guys. And you share it with your friends and family because you are getting it at a discount when you pay the membership. And the more you get, the cheaper your shipping costs. Like you get, it's like you can get a flat fee shipping cost when you get a certain amount of weight. Well, every time I share the link and someone purchases a membership, I get a commission from that. And then they share it and they share it and they get a commission. And everyone gets a commission. At the end of the week, you get a total amount. And whatever that total amount is in your account, instead of you continuing going and spending your money to buy more silver, you can just use your commissions to buy silver. So this is the beauty of sharing this website with the people that you know and the people that you love and the people that you know that's interested in, because it pays itself in silver or gold or whatever it is you want to shop and buy at their store. So I wanted to buy this, and I could say, well, I'm away. I can buy this week or wait for my commissions for next week. And if it's double that, I'm getting 10 coins or I'm getting 5 coins. And I'm not paying anything for it. That's the difference for shopping at cost metals. Not only do you get it at a cheaper price, but you also get a commission when you share your link and other people join as well. So now you have money that's building up in your account separate. You don't have to keep putting money in there every week, or you could just leave it in there and get on the coin of the month. Right? I think there's a coin of the month here. You get on the coin of the month and let your commissions pick out whatever coin you want, and it will pay that for you. So you're getting a coin every single month without putting in any extra money. Those other companies, they're not doing that. You got to go in your pocket each and every time, pay a higher premium to get 1 or 2 coins, and then that's it.
Wow. And if somebody recommends those companies, they ain't getting nothing for it.
Or a small smidge.
You ain't getting nothing. You ain't getting nothing. And now what my just broke down was, and that was fire, by the way, she just gave you the icing on the cake with the cherry. Okay. Because I got excited about being able to save money for getting the same product, which is the silver. But then when you throw on top of it, hold on, I'm getting silver at the best price. Other people should be getting silver, or other people might be getting silver. They need to know about this. I let people know about this who are already getting silver or who need to get silver. And when they get the membership and they buy silver and they get on a coin of the month, I get paid. And now the commissions that I'm getting from the company, I can use to get silver. And I never had to come out of my own pocket to get it. It's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer right there. So that's huge. And so so you got some options. If you want to buy silver, and you want to fund your account, which you can pay, via ACH from your bank, which is the cheapest way, or you can add funds to your account with your, credit or debit card, or you can add funds to your account with a check, wire or crypto, or you can have money funded to your account from the commissions. Well, however you get money into your ACM account balance, okay, you have the ability to convert that into precious metals, and you're going to pay the best price, which means you're going to accumulate more weight. And that's the name of the game. Weight accumulation, accumulating the ounces. And that's why I tell people, make sure you value your wealth in ounces, not dollars. Make sure you value your wealth in quantity, not dollars. Make sure you value your wealth in acreage, not dollars. The dollar is not a unit of wealth. The dollar doesn't preserve wealth, right? Don't value your wealth in dollars. Value your wealth in assets. And when it comes to gold and silver, when it comes to these precious metals, it's about how many ounces do you hold? Okay, that's the most important thing. So know what you hold. If you don't hold it, you don't own it.
Right. We have a couple of questions about that. Someone wanted to know that what do they say? Do they pay out in cash?
Yeah, that's what Mama T was showing you. That was her cash balance inside of at cost metals, where her commission went, because every week she'll get paid a commission if she's continuing to share, and her people are continuing to share, and there's a commission to be paid out. Now, if she wants to, she can move that cash to her bank account. You know, she can have that money sent to her bank account, no problem. That's easily doable. Or she can leave that money sent to her account, and then when she want to buy silver and gold or whatever, and that costs, and she can do that. You know, you have that option.
Right.
Yeah.
This is why, you know, I really encourage y'all, though, if you do want to get in it. Someone asked how much is the membership? I think they have 2 memberships, right? One is for $99. I think that's for 6 months. And the other one is it 190, 17? It was 179 when I joined up. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
If
Yeah, it might still be yeah.
It was 179 for 1 year. And as you can see, you know, it depends on how many people you share it with. You're going to make that back in commissions and then some. Like ever since I joined, I haven't went in my pocket to pay for silver yet. Like, I'm just going to say it like that. I haven't went in my pocket I went in my pocket initially when I opened up the account and to put my first order in. And after that, every week when I get my commissions, I just buy more silver with that. And then I'm on a coin of the month. So yes, it's an addition. Like when you pay your membership, what that membership pays for is you get to buy the coin at cost. The coin of the month is optional, right? You can choose to get on a coin of the month. And yes, that is additional. You have to pay for that. But if you are sharing your link and you're getting commissions, that pays for that. You see what I'm saying? Like we have to be smart. We can't think about spending. We have to think about sharing, right? Because this benefits everybody who joins. It benefits everyone who joins. And when you join and you share it with your cousin and your friend, and your mom, your dad, and they get on a coin in a month, if that's all they do, right? Then that attributes to commissions. Yeah. Right. And so now it's like set it and forget it kind of thing. All you got to do is share the link. Hey, you looking to buy silver at cost? All right, here. This is the company I use. Boom. They sign up. You get a commission. Now they start getting silver at a discounted price. And they tell someone. And so forth and so on. And so forth and so on. And it's like in everything, it's like a sharing pool. Everyone shares in the commissions. There's no real losses here unless you just don't do anything, right? And you can still do that. You're like, yo, I'm not really interested in sharing. I'm just keeping this for myself. I just want to buy that cost. You can do that too. But here's the beauty of that. Let me show you another hack on this thing. I didn't even know about this. The hack of this thing is, let's say you join, right? And you really ain't trying to do all that. And you share it with your best friend, and your best friend is trying to do all that. Your best friend is sharing it, and they have a back office, what they call it, a legacy, a genealogy. They call it a genealogy grid,
tree,
right? That it's like a family tree branch, and every time they share it, you add on another branch. They share it with somebody, you add on another branch. They share it, you add on another branch. And whatever everyone else is doing, it trickles up to you. And every week you get a percentage of whatever that is in your account. Now, this ain't about getting rich, right? This is about learning how to make money work for you so you can start acquiring these assets without going out of pocket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll throw 2 more nuggets in there because it gets better. It gets better. When you purchase that membership, it essentially is coming with a home-based business. You have a home-based business when you purchase that membership with at-cost metals. And what that means is that you also now have the ability to have some legitimate write-offs and deductions when it comes to your taxes, because it is a business, and to run a business, you have expenses. And part of the benefit of having a home-based business is it gives you the ability to have some write-offs and deductions to reduce what you pay in taxes. That's a whole nother benefit. Talk to your tax advisor about that. I'm not a tax advisor, but that is a reality of the At Cost Metals membership, which other companies don't offer. You don't have that with the other major online dealers. And then one more aspect that I wanted to go ahead.
But I want someone is asking. Now my people now. Y'all gonna make Mama T come out here now. I love y'all. I love y'all. But how you gonna ask me where the link is, baby? Why you gonna ask where's that link at, boo? Is the link not on the screen, honey? It's scrolling at the bottom. It's pinned right underneath us. Come on, y'all. The link right there, baby. All right, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, and one thing to the link, let's say if you just went to atcostmetals.com and you're trying to join, it's going to ask for a referral code. You can just type in Mama T, MAHMAHTEA. That's one way to do it too. But yeah, the link is right there, right scrolling down the whole time. And
let me take your hand and type it in with your finger. I gotta get on y'all because I be like, how many more ways I gotta put this on here for you? Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, and the other thing I want to mention was the thing about the membership. It literally pays for itself. Whether you're sharing it with people and you get commissions to pay for your membership and your coin of the month, or you pay for your membership in savings. Remember, this is not a get rich quick. This is a habitual way of living. You should save money. You just don't save it in dollars, because a dollar doesn't save value. It's not real money. So when you're saving, whatever you're saving in dollars, you save it in God's money. You save it in silver and gold. So over time, what I'm saying, savings is something you do for life, essentially. I'm saving money all the time. I don't do it for 1 month and say I'm done saving. I'm spending all my money all the time. No, every month or every year throughout your life, you're saving. So when you have that membership with At Cost, you buy, 15 coins, 20 coins, however long it took you to buy those, you pay for your membership for the year. Or, whatever term you got, you pay for it in savings. If you got the $99, 6 month, you bought 10 coins. Based off the numbers that we just showed, you saved $10 per coin on the Buffaloes, essentially. You bought 10 Buffaloes, you saved $100. If I'm doing that math right, $10 per coin you save.
Yeah, pretty much.
At 10 coins.
Yeah, you're really saving. So someone asked about when you sign up, where do you find your link? So I wanted to show you that right quick. When you sign up now there's a process. Let me tell you guys about the process when you sign up. They take 2 forms of payments, either ACH, you do a bank transfer. If you do a bank transfer, you'll save yourself 3.99% in processing fee. If you don't want to wait, you do use a credit card. The credit card is instant, but it's going to charge you a 3.99% credit card processing fee. So use your bank account and transfer your funds in there. That's what you do first. If I were you, if you want to jump in and buy the silver right now, and you don't care about the 3.99% fee, then have at it. But once you sign up and you pay your fee, your membership, then you're gonna find you have a link here that says dashboard. You're gonna click on your dashboard, and then you're gonna scroll down till it says placement setting, and then you'll see your referral code. And your referral link is right there, right? And then there's a process. Now we're having I want to say this before everyone leaves. We're having a training on this tomorrow for everyone who signed up for the membership. Now I'll have all your information, and especially if you went to the website and signed up for God's Money. If you haven't done that now, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Go to my website and sign up for the God's Money link, because then you'll get on the emailing list, because we're having a training tomorrow where we're going to explicitly explain everything about the back office at Cost Metals, as well as Quicksilver and some other things we're about to roll into next. Okay. So, because we're going to show you how to do your placement settings and what this outside bottom left and outside bottom right means. And in the meantime, if you have already joined, all the way at the bottom, they have ACM resources. I strongly suggest you guys read the affiliate program. They also have a YouTube channel. I'm going to share that too. The gentleman sent me, they have a YouTube channel with all the tutorials and everything on there. They really want to make things self-explanatory, because if you do have a problem and you click on this button, the first thing you're going to get is a bot, right? So you got to ask a question, and then, but if the bot is not answering you, you can request to speak to someone in customer service, and then a human being will come on. They'll either email you or they'll get back to you. They're kind of busy, so it may take 30 minutes to an hour, but just say, I want to speak to a human representative. You can leave your email and your question or whatever it is that's going on, and they will email you back. Okay, but we're going to go over all of this when is it? Sunday. I'm going to have a training class or so, or training session Sunday for all the people who signed up for the membership. All right, not folks who just signed up and didn't participate in the membership, or actually sign up for the membership, so you can understand how to really go through this with a fine-tooth comb, what everything means, where everything is placed, how to place your orders, how to look at your commissions, and also how to set yourself up for their card. Now, what they do, this is the account balance that I have for this week. They also, when you sign up, what is it called? PayLink?
Pay quicker.
Pay quicker. They use something called Pay Quicker. And what that does, you can either transfer your money to a debit card. It allows you to transfer your money in and out of this account onto your own account. All right. So we're going to go through all of that with you guys, so you have a better understanding on how to use this. But this is for those who sign up for the membership only. Okay. So I just wanted to make that clear to those that are in the room that have signed up already.
Yeah, I mean, so that's fire. You know, this is the thing about systems of leverage, especially when you're talking about utilizing systems of leverage to promote group economics with God's money. Okay, we talking about people getting wealthy, securing their financial future by getting an asset. Okay, and that's what I love about platforms like At-Cost Metals, because there are no losers. Nobody loses here, unless you just bought the membership and you never bought any metal, right? But everybody wins because everybody's getting real money. Everybody's getting the asset. Everybody is hedging and diversifying against the devaluation of the dollar, against inflation, against the pending financial crisis that the world is in right now, with real money, God's money, with all the value that we've talked about and that you guys know and that we're going to continue to share. You know, that's the beautiful thing about it. But as opposed to going to a site where they're going to overcharge you and they're not even going to give you anything for sharing. We have a system where we're going to get it at the best price, and we're going to create an additional stream of income, which I'm a huge proponent of. I tell people all the time, if you're relying on one stream of income, you're a disaster waiting to happen. Okay, especially in this economy. So if you have a way to have an ethical, legal, moral business, all right, which this is legal, okay. This is ethical. This is moral. Okay, helping people get God's money during a time of deflation, inflation, and devaluation of the currency. This is a good thing. And so I'm a major benefit in helping people grasp the magnitude of just that, creating an additional stream of income with gold and silver, God's money. And like Mama T said, she's getting gold and silver, and she got it from commissions, and they come out of her pocket. And you're getting this undervalued massively. The business is acquiring the most undervalued physical asset on the planet. That's silver, during a time where there isn't enough of it to satisfy the demand, the hunger from governments, from industries, okay, from corporations. There isn't enough of it. And here we got an opportunity to accumulate it, but also get paid to share it so we can accumulate more of it. It's a no-brainer.
I say. So now that we covered all of that, how you guys feeling about the information? All right, is this resonating with you? Is this something that you're interested in? Would you like to learn more about this? Because this is the future. We're always the last ones at the party, right? We're not even invited half the time to the party. We inviting everybody to the cookout.
Mm.
But don't nobody invite us to nothing. So we have to find out on our own. And then sometimes there's a mindset with some of us that when we do find out these things, we don't want to share it with anyone. We want to keep it a secret, right? But those days are over, right? We really want you guys to understand what this is about. As you can see what's going on. Some of you have been tapped in. Some of you are already in these markets. Some of you know what's going on. But the majority of us, of our people, we don't really understand what's going on. And we're always, at the tail end of a transition instead of getting ahead of the transition. We hear, the transfer of wealth was going to be the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. And that. But you're expecting what they call it, Nasira Jasera, right? I've been hearing that since the 90s, y'all. I ain't gonna tell you how old. Since Bill Clinton was president, they was talking about Nasira Jasera. Oh, he about to start the same hype that y'all was doing all through 2020 with this man. They was doing the same shit with Bill Clinton, y'all. And it's like, this is a psyop. And everyone's waiting for the great payday. When it's happening right before your face, right here and right now. You're just not in position to receive it, right? You think it's going to be Santa Claus is going to come down the chimney and leave it on the table right next to the milk and cookies. That's not how it's going down. It's about positioning. Yes, there's a transfer of wealth taking place, like it always takes place, but we're the last ones at the party to receive it. And they're counting on that. They're betting on that. But it's time to snap out of lagging and lacking and being afraid of getting in a position of wealth and waiting to receive it after you die. When you're supposed to be enjoying your life right here, right now. That's why they call it the present, right? Isn't that why we call it the present? So it's time to open up your presence and get in position. Because once you realize no one's coming to say, that's how I feel. Ain't nobody coming to save us. We've been waiting for a long time. We've been watching our grandparents wait, our parents wait. They've been watching their parents and their grandparents. They've been watching all their grandparents wait since they were told that somebody coming to get you. Just wait for that day. And it never happened. Meanwhile, those all around us is making it happen for themselves each and every day while we waiting for the day. The day is now, guys. The day is right now. You're witnessing the transfer happening right before your eyes. And how you know it's not paper to paper. It's metals. It's the precious metals. It's God's money. It's God's money. It's that silver. It's that gold. It's that platinum. It's that palladium. And it's that copper. Yes, it is. And if we're getting in alignment, get you an astrologer on your team. You stay over here on a Mama T channel, because I'm going to be bringing on more sister astrologers. Trying to get one now. Talk about she got to work. See, now she would have got her ass on this podcast. She would have been almost checking out. She's getting positioned, and in a year or two, she won't need that job no more. You see what I'm saying? So it's about positioning. And all that to say, I'm going to pass this on to you, because now you were known at one time by the name of Crypto Rick.
That's right.
They called you Crypto Rick.
Yeah.
Why they call you Crypto Rick, brother? Explain that, and then ease us into what this crypto is all about.
Yeah. Because I was getting money, and I still get money, and I understand the crypto game. And I was helping other people understand the crypto game and how to get into it and how to capitalize in it. And that's the separation. People's anxiety is always high about something, and that is because their education and understanding is low. But when you increase their education and understanding, it bring down the anxiety, and that's what allows people to take action. And it's that action that's going to change your life. It's that movement that changes your life. And so, I still know, some people who know me from Crypto Rick, they call me Crypto Rick. you know, and
Ouch.
yeah, they know I'm the guy to come to talk to when they got any questions or they need some help when it comes to crypto and understanding how to capitalize on the largest wealth transfer in history that is digital as well. You can't escape it. What we're seeing is the marriage of the two. We're seeing the marriage of the physical world and the digital world. But before that can take place, there must be price discovery and fair value and understanding of each. And because we've had so much fraud and rigging in the metals market, in the physical market, that has to balance itself out. So as we move the assets on chain, we have a true value, a true price discovery for the assets. Because once the assets go on chain, all the rigging and manipulation and the spoofing and all that stuff stops. All that stuff comes to an end. This is verified. This is redundant, technology here that is literally transparent. And, a lot of the fraud and corruption that we've been seeing is coming to an end. So understand something, that the new world, whether you like it or not, is going digital. And that's not even a new world, but I mean, like, the world is moving digital. It's moving to the blockchain. So it's important that you understand everything is going to blockchain. And I mean everything. I want you to think about everything in your life, your job, the government agencies you interfere with, the corporations you interact with, everything, insurance, everything is going on the blockchain. I hope you understand that. That is the new ledger. The whole world is going on a whole new ledger. The world is getting upgraded. Now, the beautiful thing about the time that we're in right now is that you can create massive wealth during this upgrade, because unlike in the old system where you had to be an accredited investor to be able to invest in anything that was transformative and that was going to create a lot of wealth, they kind of locked you out of it. You didn't know about it. You didn't get access. Even if you knew about it, you had to make a certain amount of money. It was all kind of barriers. Okay. Today, those barriers are gone. Those barriers are gone, and you can actually take your dollars while they have value and acquire digital assets, also known as cryptocurrency. And as the wealth transfer takes place, as everything moves online, I'm talking about the data. DMV records are on the blockchain right now. I mean, I'm talking about the money. I'm talking about the information. Everything is going to blockchain. So as that transition, that upgrade takes place, because you have the digital asset of that blockchain that is going to be facilitating that transfer, as that digital asset rises in value because of utility, because of use, right? And because people are accumulating that asset, you're going to benefit from that wealth transfer. The value of that asset is going to rise. And that's what we've seen in this space. And that's what we're going to continue to see in the space. And the blockchain and crypto space is going to create more millionaires and multimillionaires and billionaires than any other innovation, any other thing that we've ever seen created in history that creates wealth. This is the largest wealth transfer ever in history, and it's happening on chain. It's going to happen on chain, and you're still early. You're really still early, because a lot of things that we've seen in the price mechanisms for Bitcoin and digital assets and XRP and all these other digital assets, XPR, Metallicus, and all these other ones, this is all speculation at this time. But guess what? This space is not speculative anymore. It's being legitimized on a governmental level. It's being legitimized on an institutional level. Okay. So it's no longer a speculative environment. It's becoming a legitimized, real environment. Okay. And so when people understand that and you acquire these assets now, you're going to put yourself in position to have a financial future, a financial security, a lifestyle that you probably can't see for yourself right now. It's probably greater than what you can even see right now. That's why it's important to tell you, dream bigger. Okay. Dream bigger, because there are quadrillions of dollars out there and they're all getting ready to go on the blockchain, and you can acquire the assets that are needed to make that blockchain run, to facilitate that transfer for pennies and some of them dollars right now, as they rise in value because of the transfer.
Ashe.
Yeah. But so Crypto Rick. Yeah. That's how we got
Crypto Rick in the building. So someone asked a question. So about the class, if you do me a favor, guys, I want to make sure I can get your email address. Is there an email address listed on the membership? Do I have that on my referral, Rick?
Email address?
Yeah, like the people who signed up. Do I have that information?
Will you have their information?
Yeah, when I look at the back office of At-Cost Metals. Do you know?
Yes, I do see a section where for your personal referrals, you will have their email.
Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do, how can I do this? This is what I need you guys to do. Those of you who have signed up last week or today, whatever case may be, for the membership, what I need you to do is I'm gonna put this link up here. I just posted a link in the chat. If it goes, it's stuck. Go to that website, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and just fill out your name and your email address. All right,
Yeah.
that's gonna automatically put you on the God's Money email list. And tomorrow, I'm gonna email everybody who signed up on that list the time and the link to the training on Sunday. Okay. It's to be announced. Me and him got to work it out. We got busy. We got a lot of shit to do. But this Sunday, it's going to be, I want to do it early afternoon. Well, since all of y'all are on here, let's let the consensus decide. What is it, early afternoon or evening? What would be better for you, Rick?
Yeah, we can do either one. Early afternoon, evening, depends on what time. It doesn't matter, but you will have access to their email and their phone number in the back office.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because I'm going to email everybody tomorrow and with the link and everything so they can be there. And if you missed the training class, don't worry about it because we'll have it on the replay. All right. And I'll email everybody the link to the replay. And that will be a private video. So that won't be open to the public for everyone to see. That's only for the members. Okay. And that's a great time for you to come and ask all your questions. And I'm going to have the videos at Cost Metal too. Right? Because some things are real self-explanatory and some things can seem a little confusing at the same time. So, but I think it's easier if you have someone to walk you through everything, you'll be able to see it and then you'll be able to apply it. Okay, so just look out for the email tomorrow sometime. It's not going to be like late tomorrow, but it's going to be before 3:00. Right? Because I got to go through and get everybody's name. So that's why I wanted, if you signed up already, it already will populate into my emailing list. And I just got to shoot out the emailing list instead of adding everybody to the emailing list. Okay. So most people have already signed up to the God's Money. But if you just sign up today for the membership and you want to be in the class, then sign up at sacredtea.net. Go to the God's Money community. You can read over that. It's just a page, but all the way at the bottom, there's like a little box. You just put your name and your email address, and it's a drop-down window of what you're really interested in. Just click on, you could put silver and gold. If you put silver, trading silver and gold, then I'll know that you're in the membership. Okay. All right. All right. We appreciate you too, Elizabeth, honey. We do. Now, I wanted to ask you, Rick, before we move on. Actually, I want to set this up in a way because the reason why I asked you about the blockchain and crypto, Rick, because I really want to start introducing the audience to learning more about blockchain technology and one of the safest ways to start investing in crypto, right? Because they'll say there's so much crypto out there. Which one do I invest in? What do I do? Which way do I get in? And you figured out a way to make money either way with crypto. You figured out a way to make money whether it goes up or down, to acquire coins. And that's through crypto mining, right? And I just want to explain a little bit. What is crypto mining?
Yeah. So understand. Well, one, let me set this premise here. When we talk about gold and silver, we're talking about savings. Gold and silver is in my opinion, it's not an investment because gold and silver will never go to zero. It's had money since the times of, Kemet, Egypt, right? It's been money. Since that time, it's had value. It's money all over the world, Africa, Asia, Europe, the Americas. It's money, even in the Bible, from Genesis to Revelations, gold and silver is talked about. Here in the United States, gold and silver is money. Article 1, Section 10 of the U.S. Constitution. Gold and, silver, they are tier 1 assets, which means there's zero risk associated to them, according to the Bank of International Settlements, okay? And Basel III is taking place, and there are a lot of other things. But so gold and silver is a savings vehicle. It's not an investment. You'll never lose your money. Gold and silver will never go to zero. Put it like that. Okay, it will always have value. Now, when you're investing, okay, investing requires an investor's mindset. Okay, you have to understand that there is always a chance that you can lose what you invested. That's investing. But the reason that you would put up your money to invest, because there's also the chance that you can gain, that you can profit, okay, that you can make a lot of money. So it comes down to, your risk tolerance and understand, even with digital assets. And that's why I'm setting the premise up, because now we're talking about the investing space. When you're talking about investing in blockchain and digital assets. So it does require you to not be emotional and not look for instant gratification when it comes to investing, but have more of a longer outlook, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, and longer on your investments, right? As we'll call them, which I'm not a financial advisor, right, at all. But, you want to have a longer view when you're putting your money somewhere. You don't want to look at it next month and be like, oh, my money's down, or getting emotional with it. That's with any digital, any asset as well, but especially with cryptocurrency, in digital assets, right? So put on your investor cap. Don't be emotional. Think long term. Now, when I got started in the crypto, like everybody else, you just buying cryptocurrency. You buying it. You hope it goes up. Maybe you bought it at the right time. Maybe you didn't, right? Maybe you need to sell because you need some money, right? So I was like the average person until I realized that you actually can invest in the infrastructure. You actually can invest in the actual thing that makes the cryptocurrency and makes it valuable, right? So I'm talking about investing in or owning a piece of the blockchain, right? You can actually own a piece of the blockchain as opposed to just buying the coin or the coins that are on a blockchain. You can actually own a piece of the blockchain. Now, the benefit of owning or operating or managing a piece of the blockchain is that every single day you're going to get rewarded in that digital asset of that blockchain. So what does that mean? Because you own a piece of that blockchain, right? Every single day you're going to get cryptocurrency sent to your wallet. That cryptocurrency has a value. You can sell that cryptocurrency every day. You can accumulate it. And as time goes on, you have more of the cryptocurrency. And as the value go up, you have more money. And even if you sold everything you've accumulated after 6 months or 12 months or 10 years, the next day, you're still going to receive the digital asset, the cryptocurrency, because you own a piece of that blockchain. You're help supporting the infrastructure. You're helping give value to the whole ecosystem by owning a piece of the blockchain. And you do that by either owning a miner. You can do that by purchasing a node or owning a server. But one of the dynamic ways that we're leveraging right now to get paid, like an additional stream of income, I like to look at it as, to get paid every single day in cryptocurrency, is by mining it, okay? And so we're actually we're part of a project where we are crowdfunding, putting our resources together to help build this mining infrastructure that's being built out in Texas. And because we are participating in that crowdfunding process of building out this real blockchain, this real mining infrastructure in Texas, we're actually receiving the coin of that blockchain every single day for the next 130 years, because that's how long the blockchain is going to produce coins. It's going to run, right? And those coins that we're receiving, okay, we have the ability to sell them at any time. We can accumulate them, or we can trade them in for other assets. I've seen people mention XRP on here and a lot of other great cryptocurrency projects. Every single day, you're getting that coin. You can trade it out for XRP if you wanted to. Every 6 months, if you want to sell what you've accumulated and buy something else, you can. If you want to move that money to your bank account, you can. So I get excited when I, think about I look at it almost like a dividend paying stock or something. Like if I bought Coca-Cola stock, Coca-Cola will give me a dividend every quarter. They'll cut you, some money. Well, in the blockchain and crypto space, if you own a piece of the blockchain every single day for the rest of your life and beyond, you're getting paid in a digital asset. And as time goes on, the digital asset ideally is more valuable. Okay. So I like to look at it, the infrastructure and the utility over time. Where is this going over the next 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months? Okay. We don't look at it as a get rich quick scheme. We're trying to build wealth. We're trying to build legacy. We're trying to build generational wealth, right? I want to be able to take these assets and put them in a trust. I want to take these assets and put in a private foundation. I want to take these assets and create value from them and pass it on for legacy and put them in positions to where I don't have to work for money because my money's working for me. So when I found out about, the blockchain and then being a miner, it made me realize that I can make money in my sleep. So I don't have to work until I die. That's like, oh, that's a no-brainer. So that's what, one of the great things that we're doing now with blockchain is mining it. And, we're helping people be a part of the crowdfunding process, and they're getting paid in the coin every single day for the next 100 plus years. And they have the ability to sell, accumulate, or trade. And, it's very rewarding, you know what I'm saying? And we're early too. That's a beautiful thing. And like I mentioned before, we're early to this. And you want to be early. You want to be early to this space because this is when the digital asset prices are down. This is when a lot of people don't know about it. And as more growth, more people come to the blockchain, more people come to the project, more people become aware of what's going on, it adds more value. And you're in early, you're going to benefit, from that whole transfer.
Awesome. Listen, I wanted to address someone in the chat, right? I've never really needed a moderator before.
I know where you're going. And right? I thought about it. I was like, but that energy, so many good comments.
Yeah, but I know. But this is important though, because it's interesting when, people come in and they say certain things, and everyone has a right to say whatever they want to say. Mm-hmm. But it's like this, baby, we can't save everybody, right? And, it's like, we're talking about investments and how to make money work for you. And we're not talking about getting rich overnight. So if someone is living paycheck to paycheck, I don't have a solution on what they should do so they can stop living paycheck to paycheck tomorrow. No one can do that. Like, I used to live paycheck to paycheck until I finally figured it out. It took years. I'm 58. It took 50 years. Yes, I started working at 8. Shut up. But it took me years to figure this shit out. It's not going to happen overnight. And that's the problem. I'm an ordinary, everyday people, just like everyone else. I had to change my mindset. No one's coming to save me. I got to save myself. So I have to learn whatever I can learn. Those same people living paycheck to paycheck is taking 10% of their money and giving it to the damn church that ain't giving them shit back. Instead of them taking that 10% and stacking that and then learning how to utilize that money that they're saving, 10% of their money that they're either spending it on liquor, weed, cigarettes, sex, drugs, alcohol. And I say we're all doing that, but we all have vices that we are utilizing and wasting money on that we can save a small portion from each check. Come and sit down at some of these podcasts and listen, and then get in a position that resonates with them. Now that they stack 10% of their money for a couple of months, they're able to buy some silver. They're able to get into the blockchain. They're able to make a move. So we're not here to save you and come up with some answer to tell you to stop living paycheck to paycheck, to jump on this train and you can be rich tomorrow. We're not selling those kind of dreams. We are talking reality and positioning. If you don't know how to budget your money and take a small percentage out per week and save it to get to buy your freedom, I don't know what to tell you, baby. So don't come over here with that. All right. And then turn around and say, yeah, I'm an investor. I'm just here speaking for those who don't know how to do it. Well, shit, you the investor, you come up with a way for their ass then. Okay. Don't come over here with that. We don't do that. All right. We come here. We're sharing information. We're not here to be anybody's savior. I told y'all that a long time ago when y'all came over here. Don't put me on no pedestal just for you to rip the shit off and make me swing from a tree later. Y'all know how y'all do and turn on somebody who's human and that may make a mistake. Don't ever put me up on high because I'm not your savior. I'm here trying to get out just like the rest of everybody else. I don't have to do this. I could have kept him a secret. I'm just messing around with no, but for real, baby, we can't save everybody. All we can do is give you the information. Save a little bit of your money every week. I'm living paycheck to pay. I'm sure there's some part of that money you spending on something that you could be putting that aside and sacrificing whatever that shit is to help you stack later. Okay. All right, now back to our regular scheduled program. Y'all be making Mama T have to hop out here and get on y'all. I don't want no mess in the chat room. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry for our rude guests.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the truth. We're not selling no givers. You can't save everybody. And we just really trying to bring value to people, trying to substantiate the value, but then also show people how to capitalize, on the information and the value. That is clear as day is what's going on. You just go online or check the news. You'll see what the price of these digital assets, these physical assets are doing. You'll hear from the leaders of these industries, the CEOs of banks like BlackRock. You'll hear from Jamie Dimon, of JP Morgan. You'll hear from the DTTC. You'll hear from the SEC. You'll hear from the Treasury Secretary of the United States government. You'll hear from Donald Trump. You'll hear from industry leaders and everybody telling you that this is where they're going. They're going to blockchain. They're going to tokenization. You can see what's going on with the price of silver, and you can substantiate the information that silver is at a decline in a deficit as far as the availability, and that the demand is increasing for it. So Mama T's right. It's a mindset. It's a mindset shift more than anything, because we are the money. But the problem is that the problem is we had a poor mindset, and poor is an acronym for passing over opportunities repeatedly. More than likely, a lot of people have had the opportunities to change their life, but they passed over on that opportunity. And that's why we late to the party. But other people, other communities, they work together, and you know what I'm saying, and they utilize systems. I mean, they utilize the government, and they, and there's a lot of stuff on the news about that, how the other people come. I mean, so it really just comes down to the individual. But like Mama T, can't save everybody. Even the Bible said that the poor will always be amongst us. You know what I mean? Like, we can't save everybody, but that's why they say for those who got ears to hear and eyes to see, it's for you. And if it's not for you, then it's just not for you.
It's not for you.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to somebody asked this, and I guess this is like Crypto 101. What in the hell is the blockchain? How is it different? They want to know, is that like stocks? Is that bonds? Like, what is the blockchain exactly?
Yeah, you can look at it like the infrastructure that the stock market would operate on. Like, how does that move? It moves on the internet and everything else. But essentially, the blockchain is just it's a public ledger. It's a ledger that's public, that can be manipulated. It's verifiable. It's transparent. It's redundant. So we can create value on there. That's transparent and honest, right? It gives us the ability to create honest money. And transparent information. It's very disruptive. Blockchain is the most disruptive technology that we probably ever created, and because it just affects every area of human activity. But when you apply it to money, I think it's the most disruptive. Blockchain and cryptocurrencies are not really here to replace the dollar or anything like that per se. It's more so about replacing banks. You see, we no longer need the banks. The banks are done. That's what's really taking place right now. Yes. The banks and the banking industry is obsolete. Okay, they're obsolete, and blockchain is making them obsolete. We don't need them anymore. Okay, and they've never been a friend to us. And the banking infrastructure that we have now was never meant to exist in this country in the first place. We were never supposed to have a private central bank in this country. The founding fathers knew that, and they said that we'd be in the position we are in today, where people's quality of living has been reduced, where people don't own anything, and so that's what blockchain is. Blockchain is a solution to the problems that we had, for so long because of lack of transparency, lack of trust, lack of verification and validation. So it's just a public ledger. Data goes in a block. The block of information is verified. It's encrypted. Okay. And the next, block is verified, and that information is verified, and nobody can change it. To change it, everything has to get re-verified. It's just this process that eliminates fraud and misinformation, and is trustworthy and transparency. You can't trust people, right? Especially bankers. You can't trust. You can't trust them, but you can trust the technology. You can trust the code. It's set. Whatever it say is going to do, is going to do. If this happens, do that. When this happens, that happens. Like, it doesn't have a bias. It's going to do whatever the code is programmed and say it's going to do. And that's what you want when it comes to your money, because these bankers, you putting money in the bank right now, and I'm telling you, they don't have everybody's money. Everybody's putting money in the bank, and they don't have your money. And you're trusting that when you go to that bank, the money going to be there for you. But let a crisis happen, any kind of, think about the wars and crises that we've seen on the planet where this is major disruption. Let something happen and you need that money. It happened in Cyprus. In Europe, when they had the austerity measures and economic crisis there, you couldn't pull your money out the bank. They only allowed you to pull out 60 euros. They called it austerity measures. Okay? Yeah, so they didn't even allow people to get their money. People are like, hold on, my money's in this bank. Give me my money. What do you mean you don't have my money? No. The bank doesn't even have your money. So you trust in the bank.
They ain't got your money. They ain't got your silver. They ain't got your gold. They ain't got shit but paper. Right. You can't even wipe your ass with it. It's paper. We've been fighting over paper. Paper towel. Now, remember 2020? What was they fighting over? Toilet paper. Remember that?
Yep.
That was symbolic to me. That was so symbolic to me. I said, what does this mean? Paper don't mean shit. They're gonna be fighting over toilet. This is what you're gonna be wiping that paper with.
They got you working for cotton still. You still working for cotton. That's all the dollar is. Ain't nothing but a piece of paper. You still working for cotton.
My goodness. Listen, this has been phenomenal. You have been really dropping a lot of jewels here. And I really hope you guys can really understand what we're trying to tell you and convey to you. And M.I.M.S always brings the practical, the earthly, the structure, and the definition of what's going on with the markets and money and metals. And what I try to do, I listen to him and what he's saying, and then I get my crown lows and I'm listening to what the ancestors are saying on how powerful these metals are, because they resonate on a frequency. Now, I want to talk to y'all a little bit about frequency before we close this thing out. And those of you who do want to sign up and learn more before I transition over about this blockchain and getting down with crypto mining, he just scratched the surface. His brother got a whole presentation on the thing. So I really suggest y'all go ahead and sign up for that membership so you can start getting this inside scoop. And if you do have the finances to invest, remember, saving is different from investing, right? Then this is something to look at, because I always look at the charts. And is it okay if I show them the chart or no? Or you want to save that for another time of Texacoin?
No, I'm gonna go over it over training. It's okay.
Like, well, the reason why I wanted to show that, for those of you who do markup charts to understand, I think some of us learn better with visuals, is that right now, this is one of my crown loads, and I told Rick about this earlier. I said, you know what? This beast we deliver amongst us, he ain't gonna go out easy, and he's the master of deception and flipping the script to make things go in his favor. Now, this beast realized that he's losing this silver game, right? China done locked it down, and China acting like him. And he got to be dealing with something that's acting like him, and he don't know how to act with that. So what does he do? He turn on himself. He turn on each other. Now the banks are turning on each other. So where they're fighting and flipping and scratching and kicking over this metal, There's a bigger play that's about to be taking place. Now, if those of you who have been watching the markets of Bitcoin over the past week, it done shot up like $10,000. It was rumbling around 80,000. Now, I don't buy Bitcoin. That's just me. I watch Bitcoin because I do invest in altcoins, right? And when Bitcoin moves, the altcoin moves. When Bitcoin drops, the altcoins plummet. It's just the nature of this game, right? So that's why you don't go and put your whole paycheck in there. You just take whatever you can afford to miss or lose. And most of us, I can't afford to lose no money. Then that's not a mindset, like he said, of an investor. It's a win or lose game. You're just going to have to use leverage. Okay. And you have to know when to enter into the market and when to exit out of the market. That's so important. Now, all is to say is this: when everybody's looking over here at silver, somebody's looking over here at crypto, right? And if they want to get the attention off of silver to say, man, they're going to figure out we don't have this money. They're going to figure out we don't have this metal. We got to do something about this. And somebody's going to say, well, let's focus on Bitcoin. What if we just start pouring everything into that and then become the kings of Bitcoin? Then that may not matter. We'll be in a better position to make that a world type of currency. So now we can buy it. We can afford to buy the shit because we got all the Bitcoin. So we need to start looking at what crypto is doing as well as what silver is doing. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Okay, if you can start acquiring, you should start acquiring precious metals. That's your hard asset. But then you should also be looking at acquiring digital assets. It's too, because we're going into a digital world. And this is where I bring in the esoterics of it, because we're looking at astrology. And every 2,500 years, we switch a zodiac sign. We switch a constellation. Every constellation has its turn of running an age, of ruling an age, or influencing an age. So Pisces was influencing the past 2,500 years. We had the wrap up of that. We had the tail end of that. So now, what do? You don't sit here and wait for the crossover. You cross over before everybody else get over there. You have to get ahead of the time instead of waiting for everyone to say, we're here. By the time they done locked all the shit down, and what you do? We got to get ahead of the game, and by looking at the procession of where things are going. So if we're going into the age of Aquarius, does anyone know what Aquarius represents? Does anyone know what planets influence Aquarius the most? These are the things you need to start studying and learning, because this will be the theme of the next 2,500 years. So if you get a jump on it now, you be ahead of the times, just like they are, because they study astrology. You study whatever it is they tell us to study, right? But you got to study all the shit that they say don't study. That's when you start getting ahead. Now, all is to say is this: Aquarius is ruled by the planetary energy of Uranus and Saturn. Saturn rules systems. It rules governments, and it rules the elderly, and it rules anything that you got to work for. It rules success. It's known as Jacob's ladder, or the rings of Saturn. You have to go through levels of initiation to reach greatness, right? That's Aquarius. Then it also is ruled by Uranus. Uranus rules technology. It rules the internet. It rules humanity. It rules the collective. It rules a higher level of consciousness. So now, if you know that means it's about consciousness, it's about humanity, it's about the collective, as well as technology. And you're seeing this happening with the advent of AI. It's all over the place. That's not Piscean energy. That's Aquarius energy. It's showing you where we're going. And what were we doing? We arguing over AI instead of learning how to utilize this thing as a tool to get ahead of the game like they are. They're building data centers and all kinds of shit, and we're complaining about everything instead of figuring out a way. There's got to be a better way to make a data center. There's got to be a cleaner way to utilize technology, because we tap into nature in a way that most people can't. They sever themselves from nature. We are symbiotic with nature, and nature is the ultimate technology. So when we utilize this energy with technology and nature, we can get ahead of the time. Then the next thing you want to do is look at the planet where they're placed now in the sky. Now, I heard someone, when we mentioned fire sale, they were like, we going into the year of the fire horse, and we about to have a fire sale, right? This is not by accident. This is cosmic design that's taking place right now. So not only that the Chinese New Year, which starts in February with the first new moon in February, now we leave from the year of the snake, and we going into the year of the fire horse. Saturn, which is ruled by Aquarius, is finally leaving out of Pisces. What does that mean? We said we're in the age of Pisces now. Saturn rules time, and it's leaving, going into Aries, a fire sign, the first sign of the zodiac. This sounds like a fresh start. This sounds like a new beginning. And we all say that the real new year is in April, right? During the equinox, that's the new year. Well, that's also when the Aries season begins, and when Saturn will be in there, the ruler of Aquarius. So now we need to be looking at industries that Aries rule and what Saturn can bring to it. That's the things you invest in. Then you need to look at Aquarius. Aquarius is going into Gemini. Gemini rules everything to do with communications. You need to be investing in companies that deal with apps and things that deal with communications and things that deal with the hands and the arms, no medical astrology, and things that deal with frequencies and tones. This is how we get ahead of the game. Now, I'm going to give you an example of how you utilize the precious metal of silver. I got some toys that I invested in, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with this. As you can see, I know astrology, and I do astrological readings, but I do harmonic north node astrologies, where I started learning that every planet resonates on a frequency tone. And when you hit the tone, it activates or recalibrates that planetary energy within you. So I went ahead and I got a series of these tuning forks. And lo and behold, they're made out of silver. And this is my prototype. Talk about divine timing. And I ordered this about 2 months ago. And I was on live talking about this. And each planet, I have 15 of them. And each one of them represents a planetary energy, the Earth's rotation, the Earth yearly rotation in the North and South node. I think I'm the only one that has these.
I'm gonna need one.
And so I'm looking for those who are interested, the healers, the people who want to recalibrate and really understand how to tap into these planetary energies, because it's all frequency, and we're watching the frequency be expressed by the movement of these markets. Just imagine if you got the metal in your hand and you start creating tools with it, y'all. This is where we come in and take our shit to the next level. They ain't thinking about this. They stacking and hoarding it, putting it in the safe. We using sacred geometry. We using tones. We using frequencies. We healing with this. This resonates on a frequency pattern that activates you. This is what we are doing. This is where we going. All right. So I'm still getting on you, the other one that said all that shit. Listen here. This is what you need to be teaching your people. How can we turn this and alchemize this and to utilize it as sacred tools that we can heal our people, not only become wealthy, because health is wealth at the end of the day. And that's all I got to say.
Hey, look, we better.
Well, I got some. How long? You got those? I got these. You got those. I got
Look, all I'm gonna say is you better get your tuning fork, okay? Understand something. That's an asset right there.
Boom.
That is an asset. She just said it's made out of silver. Okay, that is an asset. When people fall on hard times, they used to sell their silverware. because
Yo,
the forks, that was the last thing that they would let go. That's the good silverware. They used to eat out of silver plates, silver cups, little silver pots, little silver spoons, forks, and
yo,
knives. Okay, that was the last thing they let go. They said, "Oh, don't get that good silverware up," because they even
yo,
understood the frequency and the value of that metal.
exactly.
Okay, so that tuning fork is silver right there.
I
Okay,
said,
so that's a
I said,
whole asset in a whole lot of ways, more than just one.
yeah,
Yeah, so that's powerful. Yeah,
yeah. Who knew? Who knew? Who
yeah,
knew? Who knew where we was going? Since I'm talking about divine, just get in alignment, y'all. Just in alignment is not so much something that you so much have to study. It's about listening to that inner ear and listening to your heart, going with that vibe. Like you can feel, I need to do something. It's time for me to pivot. It's time for me to get in alignment. I know you, and then the next thing you know, you attracting all the things you need to help you get to where you gotta go. Right? Get away from the fear. Release that, the fear, the doubt, and the naysayers. No naysayers around here. We trying to elevate. We trying to raise the frequency and the vibration, right? So we can spiral up out this shit. Remember, no one coming to save us. We got to save ourselves. And how you do it through information. Age of Aquarius is the age of information. But the information has to resonate with you to get in alignment, because everything ain't for everybody. Everybody don't need to be in here. That if you ain't feeling it, then you don't need to be in here. This isn't your group. This isn't your vibe. This isn't your frequency. Go find it, because there's a billion of them out there. Find your clan, find your tribe, find what resonates with you and build that. Because guess what? That tribe you building over there and this tribe we building over here, we connect through nodes. You look at the motherboard. There's something going on over here, there's something going over here, but there's a node that connects it. And that's the collective energy. Everyone got to get in where you fit in, but then we start connecting with each other because there's something that you may have that we may need, and vice versa. All right. So at the end of the day, we're all going to work together somehow, some way. Right. But you're just going to have to go with what resonates with you. That's it.
yeah.
Yes.
We all,
Yeah, we're sweating in here.
yeah, we are little Morpheuses and Neos in the Matrix.
Yeah.
You know, half of us trying to wake people up and show them who they are, and then the other half is trying to expose the system and show them that we could fly. You know, we could move mountains. You know what I mean? The faith of a mustard seed type of thing, and especially when we come together as a collective. But you know, that's the power of realizing what is in your environment to aid in your freedom, in your growth, in your sovereignty. And you know, while you were talking, the birth of a nation was coming to my mind for some reason a little earlier. You know, the Nat Turner, and I'm thinking about blockchain and how it is a tool, and that tool they want, of course, to use that tool to enslave us or to track us and monitor us and limit our ability to be free. But that tool can also be used to give us freedom and give us that liberty and give us the life that we know we deserve. And so it just comes down to us realizing what it is, learning how to use it and use it in our favor and against them, in the sense of like how you can vote out of this system by your actions and by how you spend your dollars. So in Birth of a Nation, they had to get some weapons so they can try to be, and when you talk about, utilizing the blockchain is a weapon in a way that it could be used against you or it can be used for you. You can use it for your benefit. Okay. So I'm saying all that to say, essentially, it doesn't matter if you like blockchain and crypto. It doesn't matter if you understand blockchain and crypto. None of that stuff matters, because this is where the world is going. It's a tool. It's a technology. It's a thing. Now, you can be ignorant of the thing, but the thing is going to be around and it's going to affect your life. So the sooner you understand how to utilize the thing and capitalize on that thing, then you can start to change not only your reality, but you can change the reality of the people around you and have an effect on other people's reality and then we can all usher in the type of world and environment that we want to see, because we were able to capitalize on the technology and put ourselves in a position to create wealth, and then come together as a collective to actually do something. But the problem that we have right now is most of us don't have the wealth. We don't have the wealth, and we don't have the community, and we don't practice the group economics. But first things first. And even when I listen to Claude Anderson and I read his, Powernomics, it comes out first is the economics. We got to get the economics right. We got to get the wealth. We got to get the money. We got the ideas. We got the innovation. We know what it is to do and how to do it, but we need the wealth, and that's why it's important that, to me, that's the most important thing, getting the money. So, you can actually do what you want to do. No matter what it is you want to do, it takes money. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want to be in a holistic, whether, a space and healing people, you know what I'm saying? You got to get supplies. And listen, I'm going organic, non-GMO heirloom seeds. I got to pay for seeds. You know what I mean? I got to pay for farming equipment. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what industry, what space you in, you need capital, right? So this is a great time, the best time to get that capital up to actually, have a major impact in the way that you see you want to have an impact in the world. It's not about that's what saying the love of money. It's not the love of money. It's you being able to understand that you have the tools that are needed for you to do what you were put on this planet to do. You know what I mean? And leveraging those resources. So yeah, for those who get it, it's for them. For those who don't, it's not for them. It's not for you. But for those who finding value in this, man, make sure y'all like this out. Make sure y'all share this out. If you want to start mining, okay, and you want to learn how we getting paid in crypto every single day, mining and getting into blockchain and crypto, make sure y'all come onto the training or reach out to Mama T, or, you know what I'm saying? If you join that Cost Metals, she's going to already have your information, to make sure you get those details. And then some people, you might not like investing. I did see somebody say they don't, their risk tolerance is 0 when it comes to their investing. And if your risk tolerance is 0, then you want to save in God's money, silver and gold. You want to save silver. You want to save gold. That will always have value, and it will always, account for the inflation. So it's going to rise in value as well. That's what it's always done historically. It's always will do that. And you're not exposing yourself to risk, because gold and silver will never go to 0. But if you also want to capitalize on the wealth transfer in the digital space, which can give you, another exponential way of growing your money, it does expose you to risk, but it's something that everybody is going to be involved in, whether you like it or not. Even if you just save in gold and silver, that's fine. You're still going to be utilizing the blockchain, whether you like it or not. So it's better that you capitalize on it while you're using it, as opposed to not capitalizing it and using it anyway, I should say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Man, this was a great show. Fantastic. How y'all feeling out there? How are y'all feeling? We're about to close this thing out, but before we do, we're going to take 1 or 2 questions from the chat. Is that okay with you, Rick?
Oh, yeah. What up?
Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
All right. Is this someone that you've seen, anything in there that you wanted to address right quick, or should I pull from the...
No, I mean, I did see somebody asking about inside of Cost Metals, do you have to put your social? Yeah, you put if you have your social or tax ID, whichever one you have, because like I said, it's a home-based business, and if you do, I think in the U.S. it's which Cost Metals is in the U.S., but anytime you make over $600 or so, they have to issue you a 1099, and you have to, you do your taxes and all that. So that's why you have to have that information in there. But yeah, you'll put in your social or your tax ID if you have a business or whatever have you in that regard. Did you? Yeah, I don't know. I can see if we see something else.
Let me see. I'm on the laptop. It's a little small, so I gotta put my glasses on.
Yeah, Cost Metals is not going to alert anybody, agencies, to what you have. So that's the best way I can answer one question that might be asking, is Cost Metals going to report to anybody, any agency in regards to, what amount of metal you have bought and things of that nature. That I do know. Buying land, developing communities. How do you see? Yeah, RWA. So somebody asked about buying land and developing communities. How do you see the RWA coming into play? Yeah, RWA is probably the biggest, if not the biggest, ways the wealth transfer is going to take place on the blockchain. And that's RWA is real world assets. Okay. Fine artwork, gold and silver, real estate assets. Okay. Real world assets that are going to be moved onto the blockchain. So we're talking about quadrillion, trillions of dollars, quadrillions. We're talking about a lot of money. Okay. And these real world assets are all going to be on the blockchain. They're all going to be tokenized. And so, if you want to capitalize in that industry, in that sector, in that space, because everything that exists in the traditional world today will exist on the blockchain. So just like you can invest in gaming stocks, you're going to have cryptocurrencies that deal with gaming. The same way you can invest in different segments of the economy. There are different segments of the blockchain that are interacting with those same segments in the economy that the stock market is. And so depending on which, you want to capitalize on the AI narrative, you want to capitalize on the gaming narrative, you want to capitalize on, they call NFTs or whatever it is, each sector. But RWAs as a sector, as a category in the blockchain space is probably going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, when it comes to the wealth transfer. So I love RWA projects and real world asset blockchains that are going to facilitate
peace and positive vibrations. Welcome to the portal as you enter into the world of the city.
I'm so sorry. I did not know that was going to happen. I'm trying to set it up and it just came on. I apologize. My bad. I'm so sorry.
No, you fine. You fine. I was like,
damn, that's just
shit. Right. No, you're good. Yeah. So yeah, that's RWAs is a definitely a great segment, area, category to invest in when it comes to blockchain and crypto.
All right. I think someone else had a question. I was trying to which are the best web apps to use to invest?
I'm assuming you're saying where do you buy crypto? Because that's what I'm saying. So people go to Coinbase. Coinbase is where people can go to buy digital assets. I like crypto.com. You could go to crypto.com to buy digital, assets. Some people use Robinhood, I believe, as well. You can buy digital assets there. And some people use like Kraken, to buy digital assets. So those are some places where you can go to buy cryptocurrency, right? Digital assets. But the most important thing is that when you buy these digital assets, you want to make sure that you take them off of those platforms, because those are centralized platforms. That's what we call on-ramps. That's how we get onto the blockchain and we acquire the asset. That's an on-ramp. Coinbase is an on-ramp. Crypto.com is an on-ramp. But you don't want to leave your assets. That's like leaving your money at the bank. Sure, it's safe at the bank, but there's always a risk, right? So you want to take your assets off of those centralized exchanges, those on-ramps, and you want to take custody of them. And so how you do that is you move the digital asset from their wallet to your own wallet. Okay. And so that's something to talk about. But yeah, Uphold is great too. Yeah, thank you, King. Yep, Uphold is great too. You can utilize Uphold. Uphold is really nice. I like Uphold.
I use Uphold.
I love crypto.com more, but I like Uphold.
All right.
Nice. Yeah.
Michelle asks, would it be better to start an LLC and trust before investing?
Well, it obviously there are benefits to obviously having a trust and things of that nature, and you want to obviously move assets to those trusts, and you want to secure, your assets. But a lot of people get a trust or something first, and they ain't got nothing to put in there. You know what I mean? Like it sounds good to say I got a trust, but you ain't got no assets or nothing to put in the trust. You know what I mean? So it depends. Everybody's financial situation or strategy is different. But generally you want to have something to put into the trust first. So focus on getting the wealth and then focus on, because that takes time, that takes money. You know what I mean? That takes, other people getting involved, generally. You know what I mean? So, and like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, tax advisor, financial planner. I don't hold any of those roles, any of those licenses. I don't play one on TV or none of that. But yeah. So it just, everybody's situation is different. It's up to you whether you want to get a trust first and then buy assets. Do it. If you want to buy assets first, and they get, either way, you're doing the right thing. You're doing the right things. You're setting up your trust. It's the right thing. Get it out the way. You buying silver and gold. You're doing the right thing. Get it out the way. Either way, you don't lose. Yeah.
I'm a billionaire. Said, how do I be down? Down for what, baby? You want to get some silver, some gold, some crypto? What you want to be down with, sir? How can I be down up in here?
Mm-hmm.
What about XRP?
Yeah. XRP, still undervalued, massively undervalued. There's a lot of ISO compliant. That's a terminology for messaging and standards. When we talk about global payments and infrastructure, and the movement of money around the world and things of that nature, XRP is definitely something that everybody, I think, should have in their portfolio. Have some a position, some exposure, I should say. You want to have some exposure to XRP because of Ripple and what Ripple is doing with the XRP ledger, which is beneficial to the XRP coin. So right. Yeah, Ripple's great.
Absolutely. It's a buy, King High Priest said. That's what you do. It's a buy.
Yeah.
So yes, what's your name? It went by really fast. You wanted to ask, do you have to sign up at Cost Metals in order to join Sunday's info? Yes, you do, because we're going over back office material and things of that nature, how to utilize the back office and understand how the platform works. So yes, you would have to be a member to join that session.
Yeah, because it wouldn't benefit you any other way.
Right, it wouldn't benefit you. Unless you just want to know about the mining. But we have a form that you could fill out if you want to just get straight to the mining. Just email. Here y'all go to my website sacredtea.net, and I'm gonna put it in the chat. And click on God's Money Community, and when you go scroll out the bottom, fill out the form. If you're just interested in the mining, then I'm going to email you the form. And when you fill it out, it's going to go to Rick. And then, we'll give you a call and get you set up with the mining. So you don't have to be in the membership for the at cost if you want to just jump in and start mining. Just go to my website, sacredtea.net. Go to the God's Money Community link, sign up there, and then put at the bottom crypto mining. It's a slot for it. You'll see, you can select it at the drop-down menu. And then I'll get that information and send you the form for you to sign up if you wanted to just get involved in that.
Yeah. I see you, Brother Reggie. Yeah. And folks, it's an exciting time. Look, it's 2026. Okay. It's they call it the new year, but some of us know that the new year is more closer to Easter, right? But or that time period. But it's a new frequency. It's a new, especially because we create the change. We are the value. So if we all say something is something, then it is something, and that frequency can make it something. But this is how you want to start off the 2026. This is how you want to go into 2026. You want to go into 2026 with the right mindset, with the right frequency, with the right vibration. Okay. And you want to be following the right people that are also elevating in consciousness and in areas in life that you can attribute and attach to and want to see value in. And then you want to do what they're doing. You want to acquire the assets, and you want to continue, your growth in your education. You should never stop learning. You should never stop growing. You should never stop improving. You should never stop discovering, right? And going on adventures. Okay. Like live life, right? It's 2026. So, I tell people, dream bigger, This is for some people. This is an adventure. It's an adventure. Most people are just the rigmarole, the rat race, the hamster wheel lifestyle, and it's an adventure. And in adventures, and in movies and in life, you have ups and downs. You stumble. There are peaks and valleys. There's scenes of sadness, and there's scenes of excitement. But this is your life. This is your story, and you're
This
right.
is your life.
It's a chapter in your story. So how your 2026 chapter going to go for your life? Doing one of the largest wealth transfers ever in history.
Yeah.
How are you evolving? How are you manifesting? How are you growing?
Just put the pinky toe in there. Put the pinky toe in there. Just test the waters. You got to test the waters before you know if you're going to jump in it or not, right? Don't just jump in there now because you don't know what's in there. But put your toe in there. See what the temperature. Next thing you know, you put your foot in there. Next thing you know, you in there up to your knees. Next thing you know, you swimming in that bad boy. You know what I mean? So take your time and learn. Like as long as you make that first step, right? Just take the first step. And know that sometimes you are going to make some mistakes, right? And then you learn from them and you keep going. You just got to learn. It's a learning process. This whole experience in this realm is a learning process, all right? You're probably learning more today than you did yesterday, more this year than you did last year. And it's more to learn as you keep going on. You never stop learning, right? You never stop learning and experiencing. And I made a little joke before, but I really mean this too. Like, I know they say money isn't everything and this and that and the other. You can't take it when you leave. And I say, look here. How many times you think you've been on planet Earth? You think this your first time at the rodeo? So yeah, you may not be able to take it with you, but wouldn't it be nice if it was here when you got back? Meaning that you set up generational wealth for yourself. You teach your family this thing. You have a legacy that you leave, that if you do decide to come back through your bloodline, your bag's still here. And they done tripled it. You're not starting the poverty cycle all over again, right? This generational impoverished mindset that we have had for hundreds of years. We got to stop that. Somebody got to break that curse. Why not? Why not make it yourself?
So you can't take it with you, but you damn sure can use it when you come back.
You can be right here.
You better lock it up in an irrevocable trust, private foundation, something create that legacy. Look, I know that's right.
I'm saying that sometimes you got to watch what they be doing and wondering, like, how do they keep the money? How do they keep the wealth in their family? And in the structure stays in place. They know something. They doing something. They doing so. They like, look at, they know it's all about portals and vortexes. That's a whole nother conversation, but it's deep. All about portals and vortexes. And once you in alignment, I'm just saying.
Plotting.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Look, you know what time it is, honey. When the eyelids get low, chinky eye. It's almost bedtime. So now, listen, it's been a phenomenal show. I think we've covered quite a bit. This time more so than others. Make sure y'all go out there and you follow Crypto Rick, M.I.M.S. Tell them your information and where they can follow you and all your information.
Yeah, definitely. Ricardo Hamilton on YouTube, as well on Facebook. Make It M.I.M.S. On X and TikTok as well. You can get me at Make It M.I.M.S. Make It M.I.M.S.
Somebody asked, what does M.I.M.S. mean?
Yeah. So M.I.M.S. is Make It Make Sense. So I went from Crypto Rick, because Crypto Rick is just so crypto centered, and there's a lot more value and a lot more focus that I want people to see and get, when they understand who I am. It's not just crypto, it's about building wealth and assets. Okay, and that's physical and digital assets and other things. And but M.I.M.S. is for make it make sense. That's what I do. I specialize in breaking down the complexities of blockchain and precious metals and the financial system. And I make it make sense. And so it kind of ran with me. And so then they call me M.I.M.S. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make it make sense and all get wealthy together.
That's what's up. What's up?
Yeah.
Did y'all enjoy the show? Put a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed the show. And if you want to see more shows like this, you want to see M.I.M.S back again, we would say we're going to be doing this. Like, we were supposed to do it every Thursday, but it seemed like we was caught up in the middle of everybody's holiday.
Yeah. Right.
So we moved it to Friday, which I think it's turning out pretty good because Friday is a Venus day, and Venus represents everything we talk about with money. Even though Thursday is Jupiter, that rules luck and expansion. So either way, it works for me. Okay. So put a 1 in the chat if you like the show. Put a 2 in the chat if you want to see more. Put a 3 in the chat if you join the membership and you're gonna be at the training this Sunday. Let's see who we got. Plus, I'm cheating because I'm gonna be writing your names down to make sure I get all this thing. Go now. All right. Shout out to the 1. Shout out to the 2. Shout out to look at the 3s.
Yeah. Fire.
Come on, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Getting in position.
Somebody clap for the 1, 2s, and 3s, man.
1, 2, and 3 in the building. Come on. I say yo.
Right.
Listen, I'm excited for this new year. This Gregorian year, the Chinese New Year, the lunar year, all of them, Adam, whatever it is we gonna rock it out. You know what I'm talking about? It don't even matter. We make the time. The time don't make us. Just get in alignment with the planets because that's the real time, right? That's you. That's you up there moving things around like chess pieces. All you have to do is just feel yourself move. Like you know already. We know a lot of this shit already. We're just in doubt. We need confirmation, right? We need someone else to tell us what we already know. That's what I do in astrology. Every time I have a reading, I'm gonna just tell you everything you already know. And you're like, man, I always knew that. Man, that's what I meant. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, this is you. I don't know you from a can of paint. But I'm reading what the position of the stars is saying, and you're like sitting there like, oh my God, like it's magic. It's not magic. I just know how to read the language, and you can do it too. All it is just what is the main thing they say? Know thyself. Know thyself. The age of Aquarius, every sign has a mantra, right? We're leaving out the age of Pisces. The mantra for the age of Pisces is I believe we've been saying it. Are you a believer? Right? I believe. That was a 2,500 year mantra. The next 2,500 year Aquarius, I won't hear none of that. Aquarius is like, I know. That means you have to be in the know. You have to know thyself. You have to be in the knowing. Get in position, y'all. It's time. All right? It is time. So with that being said, thank you all for joining us tonight on the Stella Maris podcast. This will be replayed in case you missed it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't joined up, think about it. You can go to sacredtea.net, read over to God's community. We also have what is it called? God's Money merch. I got my shirt. I finally got my shirt. I ain't put it on yet. I got it all to myself. Oh, you got your God's Money mug. Money mug. Now, the thing we're doing with this is really cool that I like what we're doing with this merch situation. And what we're doing is some of the part of the proceeds, the net proceeds that we're receiving every time somebody buys merch, it's going to go into a fund. And I want to talk to you about doing that in a way where it can grow and utilizing that money to help people join memberships and buy silver and gold. And if we sell enough merch, may be able to get you into the mining program, right? So where's he at? Talk about how do we help the people this. You know, but don't come in here if you don't want me messing with you. Because I'm going to mess with you. If I love you, I'm going to mess with you. If I ain't care nothing about you, baby, you would have been kicked out. Anyway, this is how we help people, right? You go to the website. You said, I'm here. I see you, darling. You go to the website. We got t-shirts. We got mugs. We got hats. We got pullovers. I'm starting to get the embroidery joints going on. I had a brother just bought a hat. He showed me a picture. He got a shirt and his hat. I was like, okay, now. So we're gonna help people climb on board with this thing that really want to be a part of it, right? That really want to do it. And this is now we're gonna present an opportunity for you, and we're gonna do this once a month. So I just started selling the merch about a week ago. So in about 3 weeks, I'm gonna tally up everything that was sold. We're gonna take that money and we're gonna say we're gonna do it on the live. Actually. We're going to do it on the live like we're doing now. And you're going to do the raffle thing. And the name we pull up, how we're going to do it in tiers, 1, 2, and 3. 3 people. We'll get you some silver. We're going to get you some mining, depending upon how much it is. I have no idea. Right now, we only sold like 3 shirts. We sold 3. And those are to my friend. So come on, y'all. Support this community. This is all about helping one another. This is how we all get involved. All right. So go ahead and check it out. And don't forget to try some of Mama T's Sacred Tea Wellness Blends. I'm about to be sold out for this month. I said I wasn't going to do another batch till January. I have a couple more Wise Elders left, Blue Lotus left, and the Equinox left. And I'm going to take a break from that for about a couple weeks. So get it now, because the next batch probably won't be ready for a couple weeks. I got to call a lady in Sri Lanka to grow my Blue Lotus, and that's going to take some time. So we're looking at February for the next batch. All right, y'all. So with that being said, do you have any final words for the people, M.I.M.S?
No, I did see somebody ask for my email. It's rhamilton, rhamilton19@gmail.com, rhamilton19@gmail.com. But no, that's it, man. That's it.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. All right, y'all. So with that being said, I love y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next live. Take care of yourself. And remember, we can't save everybody, but get in alignment and save yourself, because that's the one that's worth saving at the end of the day. All right, y'all. So with that, peace out. Love y'all. Take care.
All right.
Yeah.
Peace and positive vibrations. Welcome to the portal as you enter into the world of the sacred. It starts with a pour, slow, intentional, steam curling like whispers from the ancestors. We don't just sip tea, we build legacies. We're in alignment. This is a vibration you can feel, touch, taste, and smell. The ancients knew. They sift to awaken, to dream in technicolor, to open the third eye, to use the realms unseen, to tap in. Blue Lotus, born from the Nile, kissed by the moonlight, woven into the mystic hands of time, infused with mango green and peach oolong, apple, hibiscus, ginger, a blend of the body, soul, and spirit. And now it's yours. Hand blended, small batch, crafted with intention. 'Cause when it's gone, baby, it's gone. Because real magic ain't mass produced. One drop at a time. How we flow. Survive, sacred tea, baby. So don't wait, tap in, sip deep, and let this moment be a ritual, a return, a renewal. SacredTea.net. Let's get it. Claim your cup. Sacred Tea. Before the last drop is poured. Sacred Tea. Sacred Tea. If you would like to be a guest on the Stella Maris podcast, please contact me at info@sacredtea.net.